Hello everyone, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Guapish. As always, I'm your host Tanner, and today I'm joined by our resident cinephile, Nico.
What's up, folks? I might be a cinephile, but I'll tell you what, I ain't cynical when I tell you to go ahead and smash that subscribe button right now so you can get more amazing content just like this.
And also joining us, the man who is not subscribed to our own channel, Jackson.
Am I not?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh my god. It's impossible to say.
And guys, this is a rare three-man episode. Dylan is not able to join us today, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna talk about movies. So I found this fucking this graph here on Twitter where someone made a high concept, low concept versus highbrow, lowbrow thing, and they put like a bunch of movies and shows and stuff on there. I thought it'd be kind of fun to choose some of our movies that we've reviewed and throw them on there. I guess for our stupid fucking audience members who don't know what these things mean, high concept versus low concept, the basic idea is a high concept thing is something that you can explain very succinctly. Like in the case of movies, it revolves around like a very defined premise or whatever. Whereas low concept is something way more like loosey-goosey, or like you'd say like Seinfeld is a low concept show because like the whole idea is like it doesn't particularly have anything happening, you know. Then highbrow versus lowbrow, often we hear this in humor. I think this is more generalized. It's essentially just like, how much cultural knowledge do you need to have of the thing to understand it? Lowbrow requires very little cultural knowledge. Highbrow requires a lot of cultural knowledge. Does that all make sense, guys?
Yes,
yeah,
I get
checks
it.
Out.
I'm grabbing some movies at random. Surf's Up. I think this is high concept because it's penguin surfing.
Yeah.
So that's like a little idea there. And then, see, the thing is, most of the humor is pretty lowbrow, but the fact that it is made in like a documentary format,
it's genius. It's inspired.
yeah, it's inspired. It makes it not like way the fuck down here. So I almost think like it's not like a crazy high concept there though. So I almost think somewhere around here.
I would have it in like the middle of lowbrow.
Okay.
Like down on the y-axis from where you had on the x-axis.
Like right there.
That seems right to me.
I can kind of see that, yeah. Okay. Let me see. What other movie did I randomly grab in the last 30 seconds? Here I got Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Easily very low concept. Perhaps the lowest concept imaginable.
Yeah, it's just the guy's day off.
Yeah. He just does shit. There's some pop culture reference stuff in here, but not like...
It's very low.
Yeah. I'd say even lower than Surf's Up, probably, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Fantastic. And if you guys want to grab a movie poster and just throw it in here, feel free to.
Dude, I fucking tried. However, unfortunately, all the movie posters on the website are WebPs, and this program does not support WebPs.
Yeah, just save them as not WebP then.
Impossible to do so. It's worthless.
See, this is why teasing at something we talked about before we even start recording. This is why I kind of think Nico might secretly be the most tech illiterate, because like he apparently doesn't know how to save things as other file formats.
I mean, listen,
Yeah.
Tanner, typically when you're doing that shit, you're not allowed to do so. Generally, if you try and be like, all right, I'm gonna make this a .jpeg instead of a fucking PNG, it's like, no, fuck you, there's an error now, fuck you.
I've never encountered that before in my life. I think
Dude,
you're just
as a
doing it
graphic
wrong.
designer, I've encountered that numerous times.
Okay. If you say so, buddy. I got the Big Lebowski here. I think that it's definitely low concept. I almost think it's dead in the middle in terms of brow, though. Like, you gotta know what nihilism is.
It is certainly a more highbrow than fucking Surf's Up. I don't think it's like crazy highbrow or anything though.
It's the Big Lebowski and an intellectuals movie.
I realize it's hard for me to conceptualize the concept thing at time. Or like where a movie lands on it. We need more examples.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something we need to hammer out over time.
It's not very. The Big Lebowski is certainly not very high concept, so that seems reasonable to me.
I agree. Let me see. Let me grab another movie here. Here we go. How about Joker? I'll throw Joker up there.
Here's being John Malkovich. How's this one for you guys?
That is very high concept, and I'd say it's pretty highbrow as well.
Perhaps the highest of them all, I dare say.
I'd put it slightly lower on concept, because there is a bit of, like, just noodling around with, like, relationship nonsense.
Is it even really, like, that inherently highbrow as well? Like, there is a lot of, like, random references to people, but, like, they also, like, they're not playing these, like, who they actually are. So it's not like like a fucking John Malkovich, or the dude that was from, like, 2.5 Men. What the fuck is that guy's name? The drug addict? What's his name?
Charlie Sheen?
Charlie Sheen, yeah. When they're both, yeah. They weren't playing like themselves, so
I mean, John Malkovich was playing himself.
All I heard about is that, like, everything about what he was acting in the movie was completely opposite of, like, who he is.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like since it kind of, like, you need to get the sort of central joke of it, which is that it's weird to base a movie on John Malkovich, you kind of have to know who John Malkovich is, which makes it pretty highbrow.
Maybe it's even off the charts at this point, is what I'm hearing.
I really would disagree with that. I think it's right, more, yeah, like, right there.
Okay. Joker is pretty low concept. Does the fact that it just rips off a lot of other movies make it highbrow?
I don't know. I mean, the social commentary it's trying to do, you could maybe say it bumps it up a bit, but I don't even necessarily think it's really that highbrow.
Okay, is it higher or lower brow than Big Lebowski though? I'd say probably higher.
Yeah, I would say higher too, but not by, like, a significant amount.
Yeah. So I think, and it's not like the lowest concept imaginable. There, it's, he's becoming the Joker, so, like, I think right there seems about right to me.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Okay. Let me see. What's something that's highbrow but low concept? I wonder if I can find one of those. Highbrow. So something that requires sophistication to really, like, understand, but it's also kind of, like, meandery and whatever.
How about Punch Drunk Love?
Ooh. It's, in terms of concept, I'd say probably middle leaning towards low.
I would agree. It's not doing anything insanely crazy.
Yeah. In terms of brow, yeah, I think this is a very, like, middle of the road on both axes, to be honest. Like, leaning a little low concept, and then I almost want to say dead even high and low brow, to be honest. I don't know, what do you think?
That seems pretty reasonable to me. What about you, Nico? You're the biggest fan of this movie.
Yeah, so as the resident Punch Drunk Love enjoyer, I'd say that this is just about the lowest concept film we have so far.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Okay. He's fucking around.
Why'd you say that?
To really rile up the Punch Drunk Love enjoyers. Yeah, I'd say it's probably, like, on about the same level as Joker.
Like in both directions?
No, just on concept.
Oh, okay.
In terms of brow, I would say it's a tad on the lower side. Let's just say that.
How about that? How about there?
Yeah, that works.
I can live with that. No Country for Old Men I've got here. In terms of concept, oh man,
it's very simple in what it's trying to do, but there is a lot underneath the surface.
Yeah. Because, like, it does have a fairly straightforward concept where it's like a guy is escaping a killer with money. But, like, there's a lot of, like, stuff that's happening outside of that core concept. And a lot of stuff going into that.
There is like the two like different timelines thing happening, like the future and the past, where they're framing it.
Yeah.
It's certainly not low concept. It's not high concept though. I feel like it's probably higher brow, like it's a little under John Malkovich in terms of brow, and in terms of concept, I think it's like slightly to the left of the.
I think I can agree with that.
Yeah, I think I would. That's an interesting placement for it, I'd say.
Here's a weird one. The Fountain.
Oh, Jesus.
This one is pretty high.
Yeah.
It's very highbrow.
It's highbrow. I feel like it's higher-ish concept too. Like
Is
it's got a lot of moving parts.
Well, high concept means you can like explain it very simply.
Explain this movie very simply.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you can.
That's why I'm saying it's high concept.
Well, no.
I see.
High concept. I agree. The way that whoever invented this idea of high concept and low concept, I think they use really bad labels. High concept is supposed to mean that there is like a 1-sentence description of what the whole movie is about, and it doesn't like go outside of that very much. Like I'm trying to find what is the. Let me look at the original image.
Yeah. The Fountain is about a guy that wants to save his wife that's dying.
It is about that.
Yeah.
It's also
but
about
then there's some stuff
other...
about like the past and the future and like this story that they're telling.
The multi-timelines.
It's not frick. Okay, I just need to pull it up in the Guapish topics, frankly. Like what is something that is very high concept that we've seen?
Popstar Never Stop Stopping.
Yeah. What? Like Jurassic Park is labeled pretty high concept because it's like, what if we made dinosaurs? Or Idiocracy is pretty high concept. What if people were stupid?
We haven't seen
Idiocracy
yet.
Like one of the highest concept ones on here is Sharknado. What if there was a tornado of sharks and the entire movie is literally just about that to varying degrees?
Okay, this is making more sense for me. So yeah, the Fountain is pretty low concept. I don't think it's like Big Lebowski low, because it certainly does stick with what it's trying to do. It just does it in a really convoluted way.
Yeah, it's very interpretive and abstract. That's a good word for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is it more highbrow than John Malkovich?
I would argue yes.
I'd also argue yes. I
would also argue yes, but I don't think it's like significantly higher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, how about like that? Is this higher or lower concept than Punch Drunk Love?
I'd say lower than Punch Drunk Love.
Maybe.
I feel like it's lower than Joker too.
Yeah.
It's really tough to say because like the like Spanish conquistador scenes, those are actually kind of high concept, but a lot of the other stuff, especially when he's fucking floating through space, that's like
he's like in his fucking spaceship. It's who knows, man. I'm just throw it there and we can address it later. The Flash.
All right, so here's the Flash.
Very funny.
Where are we thinking this fella goes?
This one's hard to. I feel like
let's
this is
say low-ish concept. It's definitely on this section of the x-axis.
Okay, I guess let me think. What would we say? I mean, the concept of it is like Flash resets the universe, but like there is a lot of like other bullshit they just throw in there. I agree.
Yeah, it's not just like he's a superhero and he saves the day. There's a bunch of fucking stupid bullshit. There's like an alien invasion they're trying to stop.
Yeah, he's constantly looping through time. He used to go save Superman, who ends up being a woman.
There's a lot of bullshit.
The lowest concept imaginable. Woman Superman.
It's pretty lowbrow as well.
It's very lowbrow. I mean, I guess like fuck. Is it lowbrow though? Because you need to know about Michael Keaton Batman to really get that. And you need to know a lot of this other like comic book and superhero history stuff to like really fully understand the thing, you know. It's not middle, but like there is a lot of prior cultural knowledge that in order to fully understand what is happening in the movie, you kind of need to have going into it.
I guess in terms of the high and low brow, is it necessary to fully understand the work?
I'd assume that's
or is
like...
it about enjoyment factor?
Ooh. That's... I guess I think I'd say let's lean enjoyment factor. Just because, like, then we're putting ourselves in a realm where it's like, you know, like, what if Ferris Bueller's Day Off is referencing, you know, every single film ever made by the French in the 1800s, and we just have no idea how to know that and evaluate it on that level, you know?
It's just gotta be vibes, man.
Yeah. I'd say The Flash is probably about on par with Ferris Bueller, to be honest, in terms of brow, just because, like, they both kind of revolve around, like, having some familiarity with, like, a bunch of pop culture references.
Do we want to say that Ferris Bueller is much more high concept?
I don't think so.
It is just a dude kind of fucking around on his day off. There's a lot of shit that happens, but, like, I feel like it's way, like, it should be on, like, the opposite end of the spectrum.
Well, that's... Him fucking around is why it's low concept.
But, like, I feel like with the whole thing of being able to just explain it with, like, one simple sentence, it's just him fucking around on his day off, and that's all they do.
I guess it's, like, it's not specifically so much that it's one sentence, but it's that, like, this one sentence can kind of capture what the thing is. Or, like, I'm really trying to think. Because, like,
what's your argument for why this is low concept? Or, like, still, like, on the very end of low concept. Like, it is, like, the hardest possible type of movie to explain.
Because there is not really, like, a central conflict or MacGuffin or whatever that is, like, propelling the plot forward.
Dude, it's making it back home in time for dinner.
That doesn't happen till, like, halfway or, like, 3/4 of the way through the movie or something.
Let's just leave it there. Let's
yeah, let it lie. I've got 12 Angry Men. 12 Angry Men is definitely high concept, though.
Yeah, it's fucking 12 dudes in a room trying to solve a murder case. Or decide on a murder.
I don't know how highbrow I would say it is. I mean, you have to have, like, I guess kind of a basic understanding of how juries work, maybe?
I don't even know if that necessarily matters, because I feel like one of the biggest criticisms I have of the movie is that just, like, the evidence, the way they, like, come across new evidence feels like they're not really doing much, like, exploration. It's mostly, like, they get a new piece and then they argue about that, and then they get a new piece and they argue about that, and that just keeps happening throughout the movie. There isn't a ton of, like, I don't know, like, thinking that needs to go into the process.
Okay.
I feel like if anything, it's lower brow than fucking Surf's Up.
I don't know, man. Surf's Up has, like, fart jokes in it. And, like,
and
guys
12 Angry Men doesn't.
We're talking. I figured we were talking about this more from just like one aspect of it.
Yeah, but, like, I think that's a pretty worthwhile aspect to mention in this context.
Do we want to lower Surf's Up?
I think we do. I think we should lower it a tad.
It being halfway through lowbrow seems like a little bit above The Flash and Ferris Bueller.
Yeah. Then put 12 Angry Men about there, you think?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Why not? Alright, so I have Twisted Pair.
What the fuck even happens in this movie?
It's not high concept, dude. What explain the plot of this fucking movie.
What is the plot? So, like, there's a guy, and he has an evil twin.
Uh-huh.
And they're both doing something, I feel like I recall it most of the time being completely unrelated to each other.
Yeah, there's a kidnapping. There's, like, a fairy queen who shows up.
He tries to rape a chick.
As one does.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, breaks into a woman's house that he's been stalking and, like, tries to fucking sexually assault her.
Yeah, he stalks around a community college for a while.
It's so low concept. Like what the fuck is that shit? It's certainly on par with, like, Big Lebowski and Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And then, I don't know that oh man. The thing is, with the brow here, like, it's so hard to understand it with any amount of knowledge. So, like, what does that mean for how high of a brow it is?
I feel like it's gotta be in hell with that aspect of it as well. Like, there is nothing to understand. It's just some fucking dude doing nothing for an hour and a half or whatever.
Yeah. There we go. So it's still on the chart a little bit.
I want to add a movie, but it's not fucking letting me. It's like only letting me add a fucking.
You might have to
You
exit
have
out
something
of the
selected. You
activity.
need to click off of it.
That's the thing. I'm clicking in the empty space and there's like nothing's fucking changing.
Maybe
How do I
click like
leave
down
the-
here instead of out there. Never mind. That's also not working.
That's what I was doing.
know.
I was clicking off the board.
Sometimes this shit is very finicky and you just need to fucking leave and come back.
Yeah.
That's what I did. Well, I got a banger for us now.
What do we got? I can't wait to see this.
Barbie.
Okay. Ooh. I mean, concept-wise, it's like, what if Barbie was real? They do a lot of crazy shit with that, though.
There is a lot of extra shit going on than just that. I feel like it's mid low concept and like mid highbrow. Like it's below John Malkovich, and it's about like Punch Drunk Love, or maybe a little bit to the right of Punch Drunk Love, like in between Joker and Punch Drunk Love on concept.
I don't know. On concept, for me, I almost want to go like dead middle concept, and then about like maybe like around here highbrow. That's what I'm kind of feeling.
What say you, Nico?
Yeah, I'm probably with Tanner here on that.
Fair enough. We'll leave it there. Sleeping Dogs.
Fantastic.
Sleeping Dogs. Oh, there we go. I finally found the movie I was looking to grab. Hold
Could
on,
it
here I
maybe
come with
be
another one.
Slow to torture puke chamber?
Okay, so that's like... I mean, that's obviously it's the lowest brow imaginable.
Conceptually, though, it's like...
I mean, so the concept is women puking on each other.
There is supposed to be
torture.
like a fucking narrative about some like girl being trapped in hell or some shit. They don't do a good
What?
job representing it, but like it is something that the movie is trying to do. Like it was like a woman that was like a prostitute and she got like sent to fucking hell or something.
I don't know. I kind of think maybe like lowest brow and then like middle concept maybe.
It's going for something, but I don't know if what it's going for it's working with.
Yeah. Okay, I dragged in The Wicked City.
Badass.
So, the concept is demon hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty succinct.
Specifically, demons trying to like invade the overworld, and they're trying to stop them from doing it by taking out the big honchos.
Yeah.
I
don't know. What is your immediate gut feeling, Jackson?
It's so hard. I feel like this one is like to the right of Barbie a bit, like in between Punch Drunk Love and Barbie on concept, and it's gotta be lowbrow. There's there's some shit I'm missing with context as I don't watch a lot of Hong Kong cinema, but it is just a lot of random bullshit happening.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable where you've got it right now.
I think I agree there.
I'd probably argue it's a tad higher.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine by me. I want to find something a bit more high concept here.
Here, I got you a high concept one. I'm putting a banger right now.
Okay. Oh my god, you guys are fucking crazy. You guys are animals.
Compliance is very high concept.
I agree, it's pretty high concept. Yeah.
It's just somebody trying to get people. Like this is about as high concept as they get. Like it's just a dude trying to get a fucking girl to strip. I feel like it's very low brow as well. Like it is just like watching some chick get tortured, basically.
Yeah, it does do some shit with like it has some minor commentary about like human psychology and whatnot. So,
whoa! I grabbed the whole board.
I'd almost go like about the same brow as 12 Angry Men, and then just slightly lower concept than it. Yeah, like that. I don't know. What do you think, Nico?
There's no way it's fucking same brow level as 12.
I think it kind of is though. 'Cause there is like this is based off of a real story, and there, like Tanner was saying, there is a decent bit of commentary to it about like human psychology, what people do when faced with authority figures and stuff like that. So, I think it's about on that level, man.
I would disagree, but there it goes, covering up 12 Angry Men.
Fantastic. All right. Well, since we're not doing It's Pat, I guess, then how about Nope?
Ooh, okay, nope. What if a flying saucer was real and black people found it?
No, a white person found it first, and he was taming it.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was Asian.
It is an Asian guy, you're right. You know, I just get him all mixed
racist
up.
son of a
It's
bitch.
everyone against black people in my mind. I'm sorry.
That's what they're saying about the Carmelo Anthony jury. Anyway,
Whoa!
I'd say, whoa!
Wacky! Whoa! I fucking drunk the whole board
Jesus, dude.
Oh my god.
Can we fucking
I mean,
pin it? We fucking
it's kind of
pin the
like,
board?
I almost think maybe, no, okay, so I'd probably say slightly higher concept than No Country for Old Men. And then brow-wise, it's got a lot to do with like show business and like animal rights, and
There's some trauma undertones and shit going on with it as well.
yeah.
And how to cope with that. I feel like is it higher brow than No Country for Old Men?
I'd probably lean towards saying it's about same brow, slightly higher concept.
That seems reasonable to me.
Something like that in my mind.
Okay.
I'm trying to get something that's gonna go straight in the friggin', did I not save it here? Where'd it go?
I've got a silly one. Where you're trying to
Toys.
find
Oh. Okay, so that,
I can't even remember the plot of this fucking movie.
No,
at
I
this point in
cannot.
time.
He owns a toy factory, and some other guy's trying to take it over, I think.
yeah, what if a toy factory made weapons or something?
Yeah, they're getting bought up by the military or something. They're trying to stop it, I think.
Okay.
I'd say it's pretty low concept.
I would agree. Is it highbrow? I don't think so.
No, I wouldn't say so. That looks, I wouldn't say it's that lowbrow. I'd say, yeah, because, you know, you gotta know about the military-industrial complex to really get this movie. So that looks about right. Alright, so this is something I'm trying to do for the corner of high concept lowbrow.
Okay.
What do you guys think of Real Steel?
All right, let me hear the argument for lowbrow, I guess.
What do you mean, what argument for lowbrow?
It's robots that punch.
It's a dude training a robot to fucking fight in an arena with his...
Well, you really gotta understand the history of boxing to get this one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot... this is literally just an allegory for Rocky in the future.
Yeah.
It is based on a Twilight Zone episode. Or no, like an old poem that also had a thing. That's not necessary to enjoy it.
No, certainly not.
I think that has to be like this corner here. It's robots that box.
Yeah.
And it doesn't like, I'm trying to like, what would be something that you need to understand, like what IQ level do you need to really get Real Steel, you know?
That seems real. I'm trying right now to find a top left corner thing here. I don't know if we've
Hang
watched
on,
like
I got it.
any truly like
Okay,
super
well.
highbrow.
I mean, that's just
That's just put it on top of Real Steel.
yeah,
bro.
go put it on top of Real Steel. High concept, highbrow. The problem is we don't watch very many smart movies, I guess I'll say.
No, here. Let's throw on a topical one. Let me throw on a topical one.
Holy cow, is it Backrooms?
Dude, no, it's Memories of Murder.
Okay.
This one I feel is pretty high concept. They're just trying to find
Catch a serial
they're
killer,
trying
yeah.
to just catch the serial killer, and that's all they fucking do the entire movie. Highbrow. I don't even really know if it's that highbrow, to be honest. It's just kind of there is a lot of there is cultural context about what was happening in Korea during the 80s, and that does change plot points of the movie based around it, like the fucking
Yeah.
military dictatorship they had going on, and that is like definitely an aspect of the movie they recognize a lot there. They even do like some like the very end thing. Maybe this is gonna be your fun fact about the movie, but like the very end where the detective like looks into the camera. This actually was based on a true story as well, which I think adds to that.
It does say that right at the beginning of the film.
Of course. And when he like looked at the camera, that's actually supposed to be the director trying to like look at the in real life serial killer that was still out on the loose.
Yeah, and fun fact, he did in fact watch the movie, and he felt nothing when that happened.
It was probably lost on him.
Tanner's currently panically trying to find a second fun fact.
Funnily enough, that wasn't my fun fact for it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty high concept. I don't think it's higher brow than Nope or No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty comparable to, yeah, maybe a tiny bit. Because No Country, maybe understanding how it's like a neo-Western and what that means for it and whatnot, but that looks about right to me for Memories of Murder. I got weapons here. Pretty high concept, I would say. And I kind of want to say it's decently highbrow as well.
I don't even know if I'd agree necessarily with it being high concept.
Really?
Like, it's some kids going missing, but there's like some...
Yeah, well, you see, Jackson, the pitches at 2:17 a.m.
There's like, not multiple timelines, but there's like different perspectives and shit. They're like intermingling throughout it and stuff.
That's fair, yeah. It is multiple perspectives, but it is all centered on like this one specific event.
Yeah, I don't even think it's like really that high concept. Like there is maybe an attempt at some social commentary about. I'm not even gonna fucking try, to be honest. I don't want to even fucking try. I'm pretty sure literally the director
saying
said like
something,
No, I'm pretty sure the director specifically said that he wasn't trying to fucking say anything. Like, with, like, the big gun thing over the house on that one scene, like, I think he genuinely just said that, like, that had no fucking meaning. He just thought it looked cool. Like, I don't know if the dude was trying to say anything with it. You think it's higher brow than Nope and No Country for Old Men?
I don't think
the movie ends with a bunch of kids tearing a woman apart.
That's true.
It's like a comedy scene of them chasing her down.
What about right there?
I
do think it's higher concept
God damn it! I
than
keep
them.
dragging the whole fucking grid. I'd put it like.
Okay, I can see
I'm
that.
in a similar ballpark to you.
Aye.
Okay, how about Passion of the Christ?
Ooh, okay. That's a tough one. What's funny is I think Passion of the Christ is on the original grid, so I'll have to after we put it where we want to put it, I'll go and check how it compares. It's concept-wise, that's kind of tough. I mean, it's about the crucifixion of Christ.
Uh-huh.
But like, there's so many different things that go into it, so I'm not sure if that is high or low concept. It is
hard because, like, I mean, it is just based on something. So, like, I feel like it is pretty easy to say it is pretty high concept.
Yeah.
And I feel like also, like, depending on the audience, it, like, changes if it's low or highbrow as well. Like, the average Christian, this is, like, incredibly lowbrow shit. Like, it's the story of fucking Jesus. And then for, like, anybody that doesn't know the story, it's, like, slightly higher, but nothing crazy.
Yeah. So, like, I do think, we're looking at, like, I'd almost put it maybe around this area. I think, what area would you lean towards, Jackson?
I feel like it's higher concept. I think it's like in the middle of Memories of Murder and Weapons in concept, and like slightly higher than Nope and No Country for like right there about like slightly or like a little bit higher than like Nope and No Country for Old Men.
Okay.
So like right there. Okay, let me go check right now where the original image had Passion of the Christ.
Or like
so I think it actually is. Or am I wrong? Where is it? I could have sworn it had it. I might be retarded. The problem is, like, it's all... I guess I'm wrong? I could have sworn it had Passion of the Christ on here. Oh, no, they had the Passion of Joan of Arc. That's... Okay, that's my mistake.
Alright, guys, funny games!
Oh my god, funny games.
The concept of this movie is there are two omnipotent gods fucking around with people.
Yeah. I feel like it's high concept?
This is a very hard to pin on concept for me. I feel like this is highbrow for sure. It's a fucking deconstruction of a genre, and they do it in a very clever way.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people would just not fucking grasp what they're going for at all. Concept is very hard for me, though, because, like, the way I explained it is not how, like, you watch the movie, really.
Yeah. Man, Funny Games is a really fucking tricky one to think about. That feels kind of right, being right there. Let me see. Okay, so compared to John Malkovich, Yeah, maybe on par, slightly less high concept than John Malkovich.
Mm-hmm.
Brow probably slightly above John Malkovich. So I'd say that placement seems about right to me.
Yeah.
Speaking of high concept,
He wants to get into college,
yeah.
but they're only giving scholarships to black people, so he becomes black to get into college.
Mm-hmm.
Unironically, I think this kind of goes like not in the corner, but like around here. Because, like, it revolves around a lot of, like, civil rights history and knowing about, like, this sort of black struggle, rhetoric and stuff. And then it's pretty high concept, like, a white guy pretends to be black to get into college. I unironically kind of think it's right there.
The crazy thing is, I sort of have to agree with you.
Guys, we're getting fucking thrown in jail for racism.
Damn.
All right, well, here's one for you, fellas. So I've got Late Night with the Devil.
Okay. Ooh, I feel like it's decently high concept.
This is definitely pretty high concept. I would say it's not crazy highbrow. I mean, you need the context of like late night shows and some of the like the references they're trying to make to like in real life shit, like the fucking like the owl.
They literally
bullshit.
reference Bohemian Grove in this.
Yeah,
man.
that's what I'm saying. That you need context of like the real life, like in like owl cult or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like that high concept though, or not high concept, high brow?
I kind of think it is, to be honest. I don't know.
No, definitely not that high. I don't think.
I think where you were was about right. Like, yeah, somewhere maybe slightly lower brow, so like kind of sandwiched in between these two.
Like there-ish.
Something like that.
That's
Does that seem about right to you, Nico?
Yeah. Yeah, we can put it there.
Okay.
Why not?
How about
The Shining? Concept-wise.
I'd say
it's in the lower quadrant.
It's definitely lower, I feel, because like the general idea behind the movie is it's a dude in a
Going
hotel with his
crazy.
wife and he's just there for maintenance and he just goes crazy throughout it. But
Yeah.
they stick to that pretty well.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy low concept. I'll agree it's in the low concept quadrant.
Highbrow. How about like
I kind of feel like it is.
I feel like it's close to Barbie.
Yeah?
Do we think it's higher
That
or
seems
lower
about right
concept
to
or
me.
higher or lower brow than Barbie? I would say probably a little.
Yeah, a little lower. That kind of looks right to me.
Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet. Very low
That's
concept.
one I was going to grab too.
Yeah. Very low concept, but oh boy. I want to say highbrow. It's Pat high concept? What are you talking about here?
It's a movie about Pat.
Yeah. I feel like, okay, so Blue Velvet is definitely the most, like, one of the most low concept. Brow-wise.
It's not that crazy. It's not that fucking crazy. It's certainly below, like, Barbie and The Shining. Like, it's, like, that or, like, even a little bit lower would make sense.
Yeah.
But it's certainly very low concept.
Okay.
What the fuck's going on in the movie?
Yeah. What the hell is going on?
So
All right,
true.
I've got Lucy.
Very high concept.
What if
I'm gonna be
people
honest,
could
this
use
might-
100% of their brain?
Right.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest, this might be just on top of It Comes the Boom as well.
I mean, come on. It's not that bad.
Make an excuse for it being higher. Yeah, exactly. Here, moving on.
Yeah,
How about The Warriors?
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, I'm gonna say low, medium, high concept, if you can follow what I mean by that.
What?
You know, so it's like on the lower end of
The medium
the medium of high concept. Yeah, like, yeah, see, you nailed it. And then brow-wise,
I honestly can't even really remember a ton about this movie. Are they trying to make like a statement at all with this one, or is it kind of just some dudes fucking
No,
around?
not particularly.
I couldn't remember if they were trying to like correlate it to some event that was happening at the time or some shit.
it's kind of loosely correlated with like how bad gang violence was back in the 70s, but like
Lower
even
brow
then,
that surfs up. I don't like Surf's Up being here because it fucks me up because like Surf's Up it's a pretty lowbrow movie, but like here, like it's certainly lower brow than Weapons.
Yeah, for sure. I think
I go
that fits.
Okay, I was gonna say a skosh lower, but that's fine.
Okay, All My Friends Hate Me.
I mean, wait, is that low concept?
I feel like it's pretty high concept. Wait, is it?
Really?
No, hold on, I'm immediately backtracking. What the fuck? How would you pin this movie? Because it is just like, it's just a fucking guy being paranoid about his friends hating him, but they don't. He's just crazy. I feel like it's relatively high concept. Like, it's not like crazy high concept. I think it's like slightly left of me.
You know, it's a hard movie for people who don't have social anxiety to grasp.
There you go.
True. I certainly do think it's on the higher brow end.
Like,
I'd put it like where my cursor is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, your cursor is like way over here. So
I put where Tanner's cursor is.
Where is my
Tanner's cursor
then?
is also way over there.
Okay, we're putting it like left of Barbie, like your fucking...
Yeah, left and up of Barbie a bit is what he's saying. Yeah. Feels good to me, I guess. Here. I got one. The Human Centipede.
Oh, God.
Very high concept.
Uh-huh. It sure is.
It's really low brow, too.
Yes.
Yes, but I don't think it's like in the corner with those ones. I kind of would say it's in the middle of these groups.
That seems... I've got another one here. This one I'm shooting for top right.
Oh, Jesus. Top right.
Fuck, I also... That was literally the next one I was gonna do.
Like, this... What the fuck happened in this movie, bro? And there's a lot of shit going on. There is, like, you can look at it from the angle of the directors making a commentary towards the audience of the original series, and a critique of, like, Japanese otaku culture in general. There's a lot of fucking moving parts with this movie.
Yeah, I think
it's
that's
a
fair
tough
to say. That's
down
the,
for
the
sure.
corner there.
Yeah, and, like, the actual, like, narrative that they're spinning within it's typical Evangelion shit. It makes no fucking sense for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it requires the context of the entire show, and even then, it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Ooh, okay, wait. Okay, I think I have something that might be a nominee for the highbrow, high concept one. Let me go ahead and get this up here. .png. Okay, for the highbrow, high concept corner, what do we think of Whiplash?
Okay.
I don't know if it's like...
I wouldn't say it's like the top of lowbrow, or not. I wouldn't say it's like the top of highbrow.
Yeah, I'd certainly put it. I'd maybe put it like, I don't even think it's like higher brow than like Funny Games was what it's trying to do. I think I'd put it like it's certainly very high concept. I'd put it like probably like slightly to the right of Soul Man in terms of concept, and I'd put it like a little higher up on highbrow.
Like about there, you think?
Yeah. I put it a little lower than Funny Games. I don't think it's... There's some commentary trying to do, but like I don't think it's higher than Funny Games.
Okay.
Brow.
Damn close to that corner, I'll tell you.
How about Happiness?
Ooh. Very low concept, pretty highbrow.
Yeah.
Actually, is it highbrow?
Is it highbrow?
Are you guys sure it's not
Well, you need to know what pedophiles are.
Explain this movie to us.
It's not high concept.
There's like
the
six
film
different
is about a family who are all attempting to find happiness in their own ways.
But it's also like
except
more
for the
than just the
characters that
family.
aren't
There's
part
other
of that
people than the
family,
family in it.
It's about a group of individuals attempting to find happiness in their own ways.
There's like six different plot lines, and they all like intermingle and shit throughout the movie and coalesce.
Yeah.
Is it that highbrow? The problem is like it's like in concept the way they structure it is interesting, but I don't think it's like there's a ton more depth to it than that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that makes sense where you have it right now, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I want to find like a dead center one. This one I'm putting here is not going to be dead center.
Very, very high concept and reasonably highbrow. Like, maybe slightly below Soul Man, but that's about it.
I've got it slightly askew.
Yeah, there you go.
I'd even say like, actually, hold on, let me think concept-wise.
It's a guy falls in love with his phone. AI.
Yeah, I'd say yeah, right there is probably good.
Well,
That is an interesting challenge. Can I get a dead center?
Yeah, I think I got it. How about cuties?
Okay. No, cuties is pretty. I feel like cuties is pretty high concept, to be honest.
Yeah, girls twerking.
Yeah.
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 But it is also saying things about, like, immigration, what it's like to, you know, be an outsider, sort of, and, like, seek fucking...
I don't like thinking about this.
I almost think, like, in this blank spot next to weapons is kind of what's in my mind.
The problem with, like, the low highbrow thing for me is that they try saying a lot, but I think they just completely fumble it hard as shit.
Yeah.
So, like, nothing that they're trying to say that would make it like a higher brow piece of media actually works.
Yeah.
So, like, genuinely for me, I'd put it, like, on a similar brow to, like, compliance.
Okay, yeah. Actually, when you say that, that kind of rings true to me. The question is being a pedophile high or low brow?
I guess it depends on the kid, huh?
What? Okay, this is my nominee for Dead Center, Zulu.
It's the Zulu War. It's a movie about the Zulu War.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it's very high concept.
Uh-huh.
Damn. Yeah, you're right. It's just like one fucking battle. It's literally just like one fucking battle. It's decently, I'd say, brow-wise, do you think it's still center? It might even be, like, maybe a little, like, right here, because, like, you kind of got to know a little bit about, like, the British colonization of South Africa.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. You're right, I was way off on that. I don't know what I was thinking.
That's okay. I got
this
us,
one's
man.
not going to be... Oh, I was going to say, you do yours first. I'll do mine.
Yeah, Brave Little Toaster.
Okay, Brave Little Toaster. Oh, damn, that's actually kind of a good nominee. I kind of see it.
This is not very
brow-wise.
highbrow. I don't think it goes in the middle of fucking highbrow. This is pretty lowbrow, but I would agree that it is definitely kind of in the middle region in concept.
Yeah.
Like, it is the Brave Little Toaster, and he does go to Mars, but like there's some other chicanery that happens within that.
There's lots of chicanery, in fact. That looks maybe a bit. Let's see. Hold on. Okay,
it's
compared to
definitely lower
Surf's
brow
Up.
than that. Let's not be fucking crazy here. It's lower brow than fucking Surf's Up.
Yeah, that probably looks about right.
About 5
That's
centimeters a second. This is like
I don't know. I feel like it's very low concept.
I was gonna say it feels lower on the concept range.
Is it like that low though? Like it's basically just like
I
people
don't think it's like
growing up
crazy
and drifting
low for sure.
Yeah,
but, like,
it's like people like growing up and drifting apart from each other. And I
Yeah.
feel like
I'm gonna be honest. I can't think of a single fucking thing that happens in this movie. This one is completely gone from my memory.
All right, so there's a train that they're on at one point. It's snowing, and then there's a train at the end of the movie where he sees the girl like pass him or some shit. I don't know.
It's
Fair.
literally just a movie about people that grow up and just drift apart over time, and like what the passage of time does to relationships. And I feel like it sticks to that pretty well, but it has a very obtuse way of formatting it, which I feel like lends credence to it being on the lower concept. I don't think it's like crazy though. I feel like it's like concept. Is it very highbrow?
I'm gonna defer to you guys. I really I really just cannot remember.
I don't
this
recall
film
enough about
well
this
at
movie
all.
either, to be honest.
It's certainly on the. I feel like I'd put it like here myself.
Okay. Hold on. How about this for the true centrist movie, the Simpsons movie?
What's your argument for this not being lower on the brow end?
Well, you got to know about the Simpsons.
Okay,
And there's tons of like pop culture references. You know, you got to know about pigs and Spider-Man and the combination thereof.
of course.
Yeah, the
There's
EPA.
some like
There's some
the
some
EPA.
commentary about fucking government overreach.
mm-hmm.
I don't think that's that highbrow though. Concept, I feel like it's. This isn't a bad choice.
I almost think like maybe around there.
That seems reasonable to me.
Okay. See, what's funny is we did it so early, but like No Country for Old Men so far being the closest to the center doesn't feel right, but I also like we made our arguments for where it is already, you know?
I mean, last I recall, I don't think any of us are stonemasons, Tanner. It's not like it's really set in stone there. We can change it up.
What an interesting attempt at a turn of phrase. Life of Pi, okay. A guy's on a boat.
Yeah,
But a lot of
trapped on
stuff
a boat with
happens.
a tiger. Yeah, there is a lot of shit that happens. It's based on But like, I don't think like conceptually the movie's that hard to really understand. But also, it is based on. Is it based on something that happened in real life, or is it just like an adaptation of a fucking book? I feel like I remember this being like an.
I think it's just a book.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think. Brow-wise, I don't know. Do you really need much prior knowledge to understand what goes on in the film?
I don't think you need prior knowledge inherently.
Yeah. I don't know. This one feels really difficult for me to place, to be honest.
I agree.
Like, I'm not quite sure where I would put it anywhere. I'd say, yeah, reasonably, yeah. I don't know. I guess that feels kind of all right in my mind.
I'm not crazy about this one, but this one's very hard for me to place as well.
Nico, do you have one lined up?
Oh yeah, I do.
Alright, let's see it. I got what I think might be an interesting one next.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, let's next up, let's go ahead and talk about a little film called Scott Pilgrim.
Okay. Maybe like medium high concept is just like you have to fight the 7 evil X's.
Mm-hmm.
There's a decent bit of auxiliary stuff around that.
There's a lot of references and shit.
Yeah, lots of references, stuff, very, nerd coded, whatever you gotta know, video games and comic books.
That
and
feels
it's based
pretty
on a
reasonable
comic.
to me.
Yeah. I like that spot for it.
So what I've got here, this is an interesting one. I don't know where it'll land. The Our RoboCop remake.
I was also eyeing that one.
I think, I don't know. Is it highbrow? Like, kind of intrinsically?
Since it requires knowledge of a completely other film in order to understand it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very high. Is it high concept? Because like it is just a retelling of RoboCop.
Yeah, it's RoboCop again. But what? I guess let me ask: would you say RoboCop itself is pretty highbrow, though?
I don't know if
so. I feel like this.
I don't even know if I'd go there.
I mean, it's a cop that's a robot.
That's true.
Yeah, there's some talk about like bodily autonomy, what makes you a human. I don't even know if I could necessarily make those arguments about OG RoboCop, to be honest. I don't think it's that highbrow.
No, like around here, like
I don't even know if I necessarily like inherently say it's higher than like Barbie.
No, they got lots of reference bullshit in there for all their different skits and whatever.
They do.
There's
but
there is an interpretive dance in here. Yeah,
I definitely feel like it's on. I definitely feel like it's certain. I would say it probably is in the highbrow quadrant, highbrow, high concept quadrant somewhere.
Okay.
Probably like in between like All My Friends Hate Me and like Scott Pilgrim.
My Friends Hate Me. Where'd that one go? Oh, like right around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it is following a conventional storyline of an actual movie, but like it does it in a very interesting way.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of references and shit like.
Yeah, that was an interesting placement. I'm glad I grabbed that one.
All right, how about Stand By Me?
We're too insane.
Stand By Me. Ooh, okay, so
on the higher brow area, higher concept area.
You think?
Well, yeah, because it's just like some kids going to find a dead body.
True. I don't know. It doesn't strike me as being super high concept, though. It is like pretty simplistic in that it is kids wandering around the woods, but like it's also like it doesn't really revolve around them being in the woods so much as it does just like exploring their relationship and stuff, and like exploring those kind of things, like as we see is more low concept.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, about right there concept wise I'd agree with. And then I'd say it's reasonably low brow, because I don't think it requires much like prior knowledge at all to really get anything that's going on.
No, it's kind of just some kids hanging out and having a fun time in their youth, and then they like the movie like ends with trying to say a bit of something, but like I don't think it's
Well, like about there. How's that feeling?
Sure.
I think you could make the argument that it's lower brow, but that's fine by me.
Okay. Like, I'm just trying to not make it lower than Surf's Up, here's the thing.
Here's my next contender for Dead Center.
I mean,
the thing is,
it has to
be
lowbrow.
The movie itself, yeah, it's very lowbrow. The movie itself is kind of low concept. The reason the movie exists, though, is very high concept.
and it's to watch dudes make out.
Yeah.
There is a plot line here, but yeah, it's like they follow it so insanely fucking loosely. I don't think it's like crazy low concept, but it's pretty lowbrow. Like if
I mean, this is the 5th movie in a series. You have to have watched 4 other films in order to understand what's going on.
Let's crack it up a little bit there. How about that?
Yeah, let me think. Okay, so relative to Flash, sure, is it higher concept than Flash, actually?
Alumni higher concept than Flash.
I kind of don't think it is, actually.
Really?
I think it's... Or maybe it is. What is the concept that, like, it's a bunch of people fucking around in a high school for no reason?
You know, I was like, no, there was a storyline
There's a killer,
here.
and they're trying to find him.
Yeah, somebody killed a dude, and they're trying to solve the mystery. And then it turned out that, like, basically all fucking killed him, because they all went in there and, like, stabbed him for some fucking reason. And then there's, like... It's really stupid.
I guess right there works. Maybe, I guess. I think so.
To say.
Okay. Ooh. Okay, so I'm now looking for something to try and go in this empty space here in low concept, high brow. I think I've got a good nominee here. Let me grab this one real quick.
I have a solid one too. I'm curious if we're gonna pick the same one.
Okay, I'm gonna upload it in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah!
Oh my god.
We did!
Oh my god. That's insane.
That's fucking
so
sick,
funny.
dude. There's like, for context, audience, there's like almost 600 movies for us to have picked.
That's
there.
really funny. I mean, okay, so we both already know we're both like, yeah, it's like pretty low concept, but pretty highbrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Nico, your opinion on Do the Right Thing?
I'm not sure I see the argument for it being that highbrow is the problem. Because the vast majority of the film is just kind of seeing the hijinks of the people who live in this neighborhood.
It all builds up to something so spectacular, though.
It does. Yeah. It does do in a spectacular fashion.
And
but
I think it's like one of those movies where like it's like the journey leads to the destination. Like we wouldn't have the impact of the final scene without the the midsection there. So it's hard to like discount that inherently from what makes it what it is.
Yeah. I just don't know, because most of the movie is kind of just like a black comedy, okay?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Tanner, where would you put like Barbershop or like a Medea movie?
I mean, yeah, Barbershop and Medea I'd put at like the lowest brow imaginable, but I feel like those really
does the
aren't
ending
that.
Increase it all the way up there.
I mean, I kind of think it does because, the ending is kind of like the summation of the point of the movie. Mm-hmm.
I can see what you're saying. I don't disagree with it being in the high concept quadrant. I just don't think it should be that high. I'm thinking like between The Fountain and The Shining.
Oh, okay. So like right there?
Yeah, somewhere like there.
I can agree to that.
Yeah.
Alright. Nico, do you have one lined up?
Oh, yeah. Guys, I've got Heathers.
Ooh. Huh, okay.
I honestly cannot really remember, like, what the point of this movie is.
Two teens
they want to
falling in love.
They want to bomb a school. The dude wants to commit horrible atrocities, and Heather doesn't want to support him doing that.
Yeah.
But he's just so hunky.
I think it's probably low concept half, but kind of more towards the middle. And then in terms of brow, probably low brow, but towards the middle. So I'm almost thinking like around in between Simpsons and 5 centimeters a second, maybe.
This is a really hard one to pin for me.
It is, yeah. It's a rough one.
I feel like there's even an argument for it being lower concept than this. Because, like, what is, like, the fucking real point of this movie? Like, there is, like, no, like, large through line, it feels like. It's just kind of a series of shit that happens.
No, it is, like, they're trying to fucking murder all these people, is, like, what's happening. The dude's trying to kill folks and burn down the dam system. And she's trying to stop him.
Let me say that I forgot that at least created to it being lower concept.
Okay. I think, like, that's a good place for it.
Okay. Alright, next up, I am bringing Look Who's Back. Very high concept.
Yeah, what if Hitler was alive today? And
Yeah. I kind of think it kind of fits pretty cleanly in right here. Or is it? I don't know. What do you guys think brow-wise?
I certainly wouldn't put it in the highbrow area, so I do think that's like a decent place for it.
Badass.
I would agree.
How long have we been recording now? Let's say we each do one more film to place on here and we'll call it quits.
Okay, alright, hang on. I gathered a few. Let me see which one I really want to do.
Yeah, you want to find something funny.
I've got one that seems obvious that I feel like we could have already done already. Ghost in a Shell.
Okay.
Alright.
Concept-wise,
It feels like my brain tells me it goes like somewhere here. There's a lot of shit this movie's trying to say, and I feel like I still just didn't really fucking get it. But like it feels like it's higher brow, but it's pretty low concept. They're trying to catch a rogue AI basically.
I'd move it like a skosh higher concept because it does center on robot cop woman.
Yeah.
And it does follow her the whole time. So yeah, I think almost like right around there. What do you think, Nico?
I think I can agree with that.
Radical.
Alright, here's my last one for you guys. Fritz the Cat.
Very low concept.
Yeah, one of the lowest, in fact.
Kind of highbrow?
How?
I don't know if I'd make that argument
It's
necessarily.
got, some a decent bit of cultural and racial commentary in it.
That's true. But it's also just got a lot of tits and shit in here.
True.
I feel like where it is makes sense.
Badass. Okay. I'm trying to find something that'd be funny to put somewhere.
This is your last one, Tanner. You better make it worth it.
Better make it a real banger. You know what? Let's do. Do we even have the poster on here? Actually, dude, we don't. Let me grab. I'll grab the poster. But while I'm doing that, let's discuss Backrooms.
All right. So Backrooms, I think, is the true center.
No. I feel like it's slightly to the right of low in the low concept quadrant. I have no fucking idea where I'd put it in. It's probably around 5 centimeters a second in concept for me. In terms of brow though, ooh.
Because children went and saw the movie. What the fuck is that, Tanner?
That's a weird ass poster for
it. I couldn't find a fucking poster for it within one click of just looking up Backrooms poster. So we got a little square of the fucking the fucking wallpaper. Okay. Okay. I think concept-wise, obviously it does play around a lot with trauma and relationships and whatnot. Oh, thank you, Jackson. Thank you. But still, I think it's medium high concept personally.
Interesting. I was thinking low concept. I was thinking
really
around 5 centimeters a second. Because the through line of it is a little hard to pin, especially once you get past the found footage section with Clark. Once the therapist goes into the back rooms, it gets real off the rails at that point. And diverts a lot from what your expectation would be. How would you describe, you can't even say, it's an exploration of the back rooms, because there's more that goes on to it than that.
I mean, I guess in my mind, it's it is what if you no-clipped into an infinite, space?
I feel like there's just more going on than that for me.
Okay.
How about you, Nico? Let's split the divide here.
Sorry, Mochi was fucking screaming.
Right now we're trying to figure out concept-wise what we think.
I would err on it being closer to high concept a tad here.
So do you from where it is right now, just this?
Yeah.
Okay. Brow-wise,
there is a lot of context you get from the series this is based on. You don't need to watch it, but it certainly helps. There is some commentary on trauma and all that shit going on that could be totally lost on plenty of people.
Yeah.
I feel like the concept of the backrooms in which they describe is pretty simple in the movie, and I think it's not that hard to understand.
But yeah, it does play around with a lot of stuff with like psychologically, and like Clark has some interesting stuff to say in terms of like the nature of the backrooms and why it is what it is. I don't know. Maybe where you have it now
isn't terrible. I'm not like opposed to where it is right now.
Okay, so let's see. Is Backrooms higher concept than The Shining? I'd say yes. I'd say pretty definitively yes. Is it higher brow than The Shining? I'd say no. So yeah, right there seems about right to me.
How many movies is this?
You go ahead and count them while I do a segue. Well, there you have it, folks. That's our concept/brow matrix. I hope you had fun listening us yap about movies. And speaking about yapping about movies...
I can't wait for us to yap more about movies over on Guapish at the Movies.
Guapish at the Movies?
You keep driving, you black spear chucker piece of shit!
I forget, do we do re-ranks normally, or do we do reviews first?
I think we usually do re-ranks first.
Guys,
That's a good call.
It's, of course, our 6-month re-rank session. I don't have any fucking re-ranks, so you guys just kick us off here. What did you guys change in the last 6 months?
Do you want to go first, Nico, or me?
You can go first. Why not?
Okay, let's
make you do something for a change here, huh?
So true, King. Yet again, actually, I think I have more than I had last time around, but it's not like a crazy amount. I feel like we, hopefully are constantly getting better at knowing where we want to land with this stuff ultimately. Reading them in whatever order the fucking tool we made, or Jackson made, printed out. Christmas Story, A- to B+. Gremlins 2, The New Batch, A- to A. Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, A to A-. We Need to Talk About Kevin, C to C+. Whiplash, A to A+. Chronicle, S- to A+. Yesterday, A- to B+. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, A- to B+. Movie 43, C to C-. Alien, A+ to A. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, A+ to A. Moonfall, D to D+. Eight-Legged Freaks, D to D+. Evolution, D to D+. And Starship Troopers, A+ to A.
Interesting.
Yeah. Any big thoughts about that one?
Yeah, where the fuck was it? I thought you moved something to S. Or did you drop something from S?
He took Chronicles
Chronicle.
out.
You dropped that from S, eh?
Yeah, I dropped it out of S-.
Why was that?
I think it's just like, my S- thing is where I'm like, oh, this did something special, and I think it's just like, I've not fallen out of love, but I'm like, okay, I can recognize the more amateurish elements of it, and it doesn't seem as crazy anymore. But like, I still appreciate that it hit me that hard the first time I saw it.
Okay. And what made you finally realize that Batman Beyond is a terrible film?
It's mostly just because I had it in the same tier as Red Hood, and I went, no, I like Red Hood a decent amount more than it.
Okay.
I'm curious about, we need to talk about Kevin. What inspired that change?
What did I do if we didn't talk about Kevin again? More. C to C+. I think some of my complaints when we first reviewed it were a bit nitpicky, and I appreciate what it was doing more now.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
just a little
not
bit.
that much. That's not crazy.
I don't want to do like multi-step re-ranks anymore, to be honest. So maybe in the future it'll keep
crawling its way up.
Yeah.
Interesting. Little by little. One day it'll hit A- like it should
What
be.
about Alien, actually? I'm surprised about Alien dropping. What'd you have Aliens at? Do you know?
Let me check real quick. I got the website pulled up.
I kind of figured you had changed that based on your ranking of the second one.
So Aliens, I have A+. So yeah, I think I just went, the entertainment factor of Aliens made me think, okay, I can bump the first one below it.
Okay. Fascinating stuff. Alrighty.
Yeah.
So then, that just leaves my changes here. Don't have too many of them. So let's just go ahead and get through these here real quick. So,
Cool.
for films that never mind, it's all mixed in. Never mind, fuck it, whatever. All right, so I am moving. The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, A- to B+. Hannibal, B- to C+. Why did I have it at B- before? What the fuck was wrong with me? Equilibrium, B- to C+. Batman Begins, A- to B+. Midnight Run, A- to B+. Gurren Lagann, the movie Childhood's End, B+ to B. The Matrix, B to B-. 8 Mile, B- to C+. Mindy, B- to C+. Zombievers, C+ to C. Blade, B- to C+. Perfect Blue, A to A+, my only increase. And then The Goonies, B- to C+.
I can only imagine Perfect Blue got bumped up after watching Millennium Actress.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's fair.
It's like, damn, that shit fucking kicks ass.
I love Perfect Blue.
Yeah, I mean, just you being a hater, I guess. I do think dropping the first Gurren Lagann down is funny.
I think that's base.
I mean, listen,
The first one
I
kind
can't
of
have it in the same tier as the other one.
dropping
No,
the Matrix
not at all.
down to almost in the seat.
I
You've
mean, it
got
deserves it.
dogs
Have you
that
seen
show
that
door.
movie?
You've got dogs that show door.
Yeah.
What do I have the fucking Matrix at? I don't even know if I can talk.
You
Yeah,
might
like a
be the
C+
biggest
or
hater on the
something.
Matrix.
I've got
to
it
be
at B+.
honest.
I'm closer to you
There
guys.
you go.
Nico
Okay.
Nico is like definitively a hater of that movie now. You have the stats.
Interesting.
I'm sorry, that film was just fine.
What made you... So, Legend of Aang is by far your most recently reviewed film you dropped. What made you decide to drop that one down to be closer to Jackson and I?
I looked at the other films that had an A- and I was like, nah, this shit ain't it, man. Like, the fights were cool and everything, but...
There isn't that. There's not a lot going on in that movie.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have the staying power to stick with big dogs like that.
Don't have the sauce.
Yeah.
Well, Jackson, I guess, do you have a preliminary how or if this changed anything?
Yeah, there are some overall changes. There's not a ton, and obviously none of them are that significant at all, given we don't have Dylan's re-ranks,
Obviously.
which are the ones that really massively changed them. All of the ones that got changed were just dropped a single rank. So we've got The Legend of Aang did get dropped from a B+ to a B. Hannibal also got dropped from a B+ to a B. Equilibrium went from a B to a B-. Batman Begins went from an A- to a B+.
Wow.
Yeah, movie 43 dropped from a C- to a D+ based. Zombievers Fallen from Grace from a C+ to a C. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 now at an A from an A+. And Starship Troopers was previously at an A- and now it's at a B+.
Wow. Okay.
It's crazy how one little change can make a difference there. I need more stats. Comment below if you have fun ideas for re-rank stats I can do. I keep saying this every time. I want more fun stats to say about our re-ranks, but I just don't fucking have any. The only other one I do is our overall number, or our overall rank if our re-ranks change that. It didn't fucking change anything. Tanner's still at a B overall, and Nico's still at a B-.
Cool.
And yeah, I didn't have any re-ranks this year. There's just too many movies, and honestly, I feel like at this point, I'm kind of conceptually against the idea of re-ranks unless I rewatch a movie. Because, especially with the passage of time, I just don't remember a ton about why I disliked a movie and a lot of the minutia of it. And I feel like it's just not fair to change something based on vibes, especially because we have so many fucking movies at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like if it wouldn't be fully accurate. So I feel like probably moving forward, unless I really just make a blunder on my rank that I just fully don't agree with, I would change stuff like that. But other than that, I probably would watch a movie again before I decide to look at it again. Because I'm also kind of looking at our movie ranks as basically a frozen state of what I thought about the movie at that given moment, and not what I think about it consistently. Because then you don't look at the ranks as this is what you think of this movie right now. It's what you thought of the movie when you watched it fucking 2 years ago. And I feel like that makes a lot more sense than having it be an ever-updating list of opinions that maybe don't fully match because you just change over time as a person. But that's just me.
And I think that's crazy. I think that's a psychotic thing to think, frankly.
I'm sorry! Anywho, on to our movie review segment now. We've got the Patreon pick as always. This week, lucky numbers fucking 549. We've got Ned again with her request of the 2018 film Black Klansman. Let's throw this one over to Nico.
Alrighty, folks. So the Black Klansman. This is a real event. This is a real historical film. Everything that happened here was 100% real. In which a black man, he's the only black man on the police force. He joins their task force in the investigative branch, in which he calls in to a newsletter that is looking for new members of the KKK, and him as a black man decides, why not? I'll give it a shot. And shockingly, they actually respond, and as a result, he needs to go see them in person, but he's black! So he gets one of his white coworkers to go in his stead, and hijinks ensue.
Fun fact, what the fuck did I put down for this? Oh, this movie has 0 deleted scenes.
Damn, they just used everything, eh? Like the Native Americans.
Yeah. Fun fact that
I feel like you can kind of tell.
Yeah, fun fact that one scene where we get introduced to the detective from Seoul, and he's like trying to help that woman up from the hillside, and the dude, or like main character, goes and drop kicks him. That was unscripted. The dude actually did just straight up fucking drop kick that guy unprompted, and they just left it in.
Wait, I thought I read a fun fact that one of the drop kicks in Memories of Murder was improvised. Are you mixing these up?
I am fucked!
I was so confused when you said that. I was like, what? Did I just give you the script of the wrong movie? Was
no, I'm retarded, dude. I'm retarded. I heard drop kick in my brain. I was like, oh yeah, I got a fun fact.
Well,
cut that out.
I'm obligated to leave that in. Nico, would you rate this one?
All right, so The Black Klansman, I thought this was a pretty solid movie. I'm between a B+ and an A-.
What, do you fucking hate black people or something, huh? You fucking hate black people, huh?
I'm
Tanner,
sorry.
how about you?
I'm at a B+.
Bunch of fucking racists in the call with me today. God damn, I'm at a B+.
Fantastic. Honestly, Tanner, I'm shocked that you like this movie so much.
Obviously, I'm comparing it quite a bit, my thoughts on it quite a bit to Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, message-wise and whatever, and tonally, I'd say I have a lot of the same pros and cons as that one, although I find this one much more entertaining because it's much more plot-driven, which is what gives it a little boost up. It's good, it has solid performances, it's well made and whatever. I think it has some pretty bad pacing issues, especially once we hit like halfway through the movie, and when they start watching Birth of a Nation or whatever it is, I think the pacing drops off a fucking cliff starting at that scene, and it struggles really badly for a good chunk of the rest of the movie. And then I feel like the last 25-30 minutes or whatever, suddenly they're like, oh, we made the last chunk of the movie too slow, let's make the rest of the movie way too fast. And they're just speeding through tons of stuff, especially like there's lots of montages and they're just throwing stuff. It kind of feels like Spike Lee? Jones? What's this guy's name? Spike Lee. He kind of went, oh yeah, I'm making this for political reasons and I'm trying to throw a message in there, and then he just threw all of that shit at us at the very end. I think there's some tonal weirdness with the way humor is included in here, and I have a hard time telling what aspects of both sides, frankly, I'm supposed to treat as a joke versus taking seriously. And one big tonal thing that felt very weird to me is like there are a lot of things where he's drawing parallels between like the Black Student Union and then the Ku Klux Klan. Like there's specific words and even whole phrases that they will have them repeat across each other in certain similarities in sort of mindset. And I don't know what he's trying to say with that or why he's including that element. I don't really get that at all.
Dude, in my notes I literally wrote, what are they even trying to do? And it was like in reference to that type of shit. Because like maybe I'm just retarded. Obviously this is a very like pro-black movement.
Yeah.
So he's leaning obviously very heavily on the side of not the fucking KKK for obvious reasons. But they were trying to draw parallels to that. I was like, what's the... Are you like there's a lot of humanizing of the KKK too, which I was kind of surprised by in this type of movie as well. Which you're not gonna get. So there's humans on all sides of it. They're just misguided.
Yeah.
I would agree too with the pacing things, especially with like the whole romance subplot. I just feel like did not need at all. And the ending was pretty fucking cheesy too. Not even like the real life shit, but just like we got your racist cop.
Fucking.
That
really did
stupid.
not like that part.
that was really fucking cheesy. The whole gotcha of the guy on the phone is alright, but then they didn't do it again with the fucking other racist guy cop.
I mean, I like that they found, like, obviously they were going to like punish him somehow. He was going to get his comeuppance. But yes, the way in which they went about it, I did not like at all.
Yeah. The movie's
He
pretty
just
heavy.
seems to be acting weirdly out of character in that scene. The way he's like, oh yeah, let me like, I'm at this bar too for some reason. Let me slide on up.
Yeah,
And
it's like, why is he there?
It's
Yeah.
very heavy-handed. There's a lot of heavy-handed things I would say in general with this movie. It's very heavy-handed.
don't
with its
say.
There's
editing.
some heavy-handed. It's just no joke Charlottesville footage at the
Yeah,
end.
it is extremely unsubtle. Like, there had to be a better way to make that point, but like I get the idea that Spike Lee's going for. He just wants to be like really in your face about it to ensure that there's no ambiguity, but like stylistically I just do not like that. I prefer far more subtle themes.
Yeah.
Didn't they literally end with just a static shot of like an upside-down American flag? Like,
Yes, yeah.
what are we doing
Yeah.
here, man?
Yeah. And also, like, because of that stuff, this movie has aged very poorly. And to be clear, what I mean by that is, like, in the same way that, like Birth of a Nation has aged poorly, but it's aged poorly because those people lost the cultural battle, you know? And in the same way, Spike Lee's theory of politics and his version of, like, the world, since this movie came out in 2018, has just completely lost. It has failed on every level imaginable. And so, because that's why I'm saying this movie aged poorly, not because any of his ideas or, his what he thinks the world ought, or not because necessarily the messages themselves have aged poorly, you know, but just because like his reason d'etre for this movie has just been like thoroughly repudiated.
I would agree.
I would disagree. I support black people, Tanner, you monster. There's some really weird, like, artsy editing choices that they had in this film, and the thing is, they're so infrequent that it causes them to feel very out of place when they do end up showing up. Like when they're walking down the bridge and like talking about all these black movies, just like showing the posters on the screen, they're just like sliding them onto frame, and it's like, why?
I was thinking specifically at the end when they're like sliding down the hallway but not walking. That especially
that was
like,
another one.
I mean, it's a cool shot, but like it just like it is so. It doesn't line up with anything else we've been doing so far. It's very out of nowhere.
He's just trying to do too much. I mean, just trying to do too much.
You know, they're homages to classic films is why they're doing
There
it.
is a lot of really cool shots in this movie. I think it is very well produced for the most part, very well acted, like you guys said. But yeah, like and that other one too, like when they were like watching the fucking movie, it's like showing all their faces. That was so weird looking for me. And it clashes pretty heavily with the rest of the movie, which is like consistent, I suppose.
Yeah. I especially don't really like the scene of all the Klans people watching that movie, because like, for one, it's just a long stretch of us just watching people watching a movie, and then they're like, I don't know, the reactions are so fucking goofy and whatever, you know, like, are you really watching a movie from like the 1830s and being like, yeah, go get him,
stupid yeah, it's fucking or even honestly another like random minor thing. This is based on a true story, but it's like very liberally taken.
Literally,
like the way they found out the fucking Adam Driver's character was like an undercover cop was kind of fucking stupid as well. And they don't even really like do anything with that information.
No,
like nothing of consequence happens.
you'd think there'd be some kind of threat once they figure that out.
No, like literally just nothing happens. He just fucking leaves and there's just no issue.
Yeah.
That was definitely one thing that I took issue with too. I wish that we had like more setup from that. Like the dude who pointed him out like earlier in the film, if he was like mentioned that like, yeah, I've been to jail before or something like that. But no, it's just kind of around like,
I was hoping he'd immediately be like, hey guys, this guy's a fucking Jew, and just like make a big point out of it, but they don't do anything.
I know they couldn't have done this because it is like based on a true story. Although I guess I don't know specifically if the C4 attack thing is real at all. I really thought what it was going to be was the Felix character was going to assassinate David Duke, since David Duke is kind of like a moderating force. And I thought that would have been way more interesting, frankly. But also, like, you know, if in real life it is like, yeah, they were going to C4 this black student thing, then yeah.
Yeah, I think that it was like they were playing.
Okay, hold on. Sorry.
Okay.
I did specifically Google search how accurate is Black Klansman, and I am saying right here, the attempted terrorist attack is completely fabricated.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think that from what I saw, it was like they were planning something, but it got taken care of long before they actually attempted anything.
Yeah, it sounds like the way they portrayed the KKK was pretty on par too. If anything, they were generous with the way they did it in the movie. They were like even more like completely incompetent in the book it was based on, to a comical degree. Like they were all the fat stupid.
One thing I really didn't like. So, also by the way, we are talking a lot of negatives. We are really harping on this film. We all generally liked it though.
Listen, we're all white. We have to.
You know.
Okay. If other critics aren't going to say this about the movie, you know, let us.
I really like the character of Ron Stallworth, okay? And Adam Driver's character as well. They were both just so likable. I love seeing them on screen. They were fantastic. But, like, what was the point of that whole scene of teaching Adam Driver how to talk? Like, if he never does it, he just never attempts it after that. He's like, I'm Adam Driver.
So
and as a result of that, it causes all these issues down the line where they readdress, like, he's heard my voice before. This is going to be a big issue. And it's like, yeah, you tried solving this previously and you never actually did. It's just a weird part of the film.
Can you guys believe that wasn't Steve Buscemi?
Dude, that was one of my notes. I had no idea there are other Buscemi brothers.
I know, right?
That was a Buscemi brother? I literally thought, I'm like, this is like a weird fuck up homunculus Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, that was Michael Buscemi.
Yeah. That's hilarious. I did not know it was this.
I didn't know until I saw it in literally like the cast list on Plex. Yep. I was like, oh, what the fuck? That wasn't... Oh.
Yeah, same
That's
story
hilarious.
for me. Also, they do a whole liar reveal thing here, and like I don't like it. It's everywhere. It's very overused. Here, it was fine. I still don't like that they leaned on that, but it was okay.
Yeah. Obviously, the romance subplot was entirely made up for the movie.
It's completely pointless.
But hey, you know, she's pretty fucking hot, so I don't mind.
Jackson isn't a big fan of her, but yeah, I thought she was pretty.
I'm sorry, I just don't like black chicks. What can I say? I think afros are a dude haircut. That's my point.
Oh my god.
Interesting. Do we have any other
sticking
thoughts?
At a B.
B?
Or B plus, I think I said. B plus.
Okay.
Sorry, I like black people. B plus for black people.
Yeah, I'll stick with my B plus as well.
I was kind of initially leaning more towards the A minus, but like we had so many negatives for the film. I'll give it a B plus.
This movie fucking sucked, man. This movie fucking sucked, and it landed at a B plus.
I love white people.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, we didn't. For all of these movies, we didn't get Dylan's opinion, so these overall ranks could change.
I so desperately want to know what Dylan thought of this movie. I genuinely have no idea.
We blundered hard as shit, not immediately asking for his ranks the second he was espousing all that to us. Anyways, it landed a B plus overall, unsurprisingly, given we all rated it a B plus. That's subject to change, though.
Yeah.
Here we are with Dylan. We're getting his thoughts on movies. Dylan, what'd you think of Black Klansman?
Dude,
what'd you give it first? Let's start with that, actually.
I gave it an A minus.
Okay.
I had to check back after I finished the movie. I was like, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing or hearing that this movie was supposed to be a comedy, but I didn't find it all that funny. So mind you, I'm not ranking this movie off of how funny it is, despite, I guess, how high I don't know what you guys gave it, but how high my letter grade is.
You're very close to us. I think we landed at a B plus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it doesn't surprise me I'm still highest. I'm not even gonna lie, the ending kinda killed it for me, to be completely honest. The goofy start of it was, when they were, like they heard a knock at the door, and then they had that weird, like, moving through the hallway, but they're not, like, walking thing. And, like, I get what they were trying to go for there, but it just didn't match the rest of the movie, which was a weird offset. And that's kind of where my thought of, like, oh yeah, this movie was supposed to be a comedy, right? Because, like I said, I don't know what else I was supposed to laugh at in this movie. I certainly didn't find a majority of it funny. Also, I think record for most N-words we will ever hear in a movie ever. I would be shocked to find if we ever find a movie that, quite frankly, has as many racial slurs in this as this one had. And then, like, the whole end sequence with the... Like, I got the messaging the movie was trying to get across. I didn't need live footage of watching people getting run the fuck over and, like, beating each other in the streets. That I get it. The movie beat me into submission throughout the whole thing, and then instead of letting me, you know, writhe in pain, bleeding out on the street, it decided to finish me off by busting a 2x4 over my head. But yeah, no, the acting in this I felt was really good. I thought the premise of the entire thing was very interesting. It was very funny listening to our main guy talk with such a middle-aged white man in his 40s accent, and just see... And the weirdest thing to me, too, is like, oh, yeah, I speak jive, and then I'm hearing him try to speak jive, and I kind of hear it, but, like, he still kind of sounds like the other guy. I don't really have anything else crazy to... I was, needless to say, shocked throughout the entire movie how many... Like, do you think... I had a funny thought. I was like, do you think they had, like, some black people around be like, hey, we need you guys to hand out some N-word passes? Obviously, this isn't realistic. But, like, dude, the amount of people...
I'd assume the director had him covered.
Yeah, I'd bought out a shit ton of N-word passes. But, dude, I was shocked about this entire movie. Just the amount of shit going down. And quite frankly, some of the things they were saying in this movie... I was like, yeah, I know they're acting, but god damn, what the hell is... So, but yeah, I enjoyed the message of the movie, and I thought it was pretty well put together until, like, the very end. So, that's kind of my general thoughts on... I don't know if I have really anything else.
Right on. You more or less kind of hit every single point we also hit in very similar language as well. That's good. It seems we all kind of got the same thing from this movie and had basically the same compliments and complaints.
Thank God. I guess it just shows through that I'm just a little more positive on movies in this scenario. So.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Anyway, speaking of another movie that's not Memories of Murder, we have the 1963 film The Pink Panther. There's 4 movies, there's 3 of us. This is Dylan's pick. Nico, let's do it.
I
the
just
runback.
didn't want McTainer do this one.
The Pink Panther. Give it to us, Nico.
Okay, so The Pink Panther is a film about this big jewel called the Pink Panther. Has a little, has a little problem in it, and as such, it's called the Pink Panther. And so, a bunch of dudes try and fucking take it, and hijinks ensue.
Fun fact... in the original script of this movie, the detective character did not do slapstick comedy at all.
That's shocking since it's fucking everyone in this film.
That's the whole
that's
point
shocking since that's like his defining characteristic now.
A good fun fact, I guess. Tanner, where'd you put this one?
I'm at a flat C.
Okay.
I'm also at a flat C.
I am at a C-.
Yeah. I wish the rest of this film had the level of creativity and style as the opening intro.
Yeah. I think...
Dude, fucking... For me, the most annoying part about this movie is I actually quite liked the ending. I think the last, half an hour was pretty fun. Like, the little scene of them actually trying to steal the diamond and the getaway scene and all that. I think that was fun and an enjoyable time. I think the comedy worked really the most there. It's just all the meandering and the slapstick and the drama happening in the first hour and a half of this long-ass fucking 60s movie. Yeah. That really took me out of it. Mm-hmm. Because there was points where I was sitting here like, this is supposed to be funny. Like, them, hiding under the bed and being all sneaky and stupid.
Yeah.
But this is just completely lost on our funness, I can imagine. This was just... There were some funny scenes sprinkled in, some, random slapstick things that worked. The fucking guy randomly touching the hot ass, overhead on the fireplace. Oh, that was funny. But, for the most part, the movie is just kind of boring and nothing really happens.
Yeah.
It's a lot of setup to, a final conclusion that I did enjoy. But I just don't think the journey there was worth it. And also, you're trying to tell me that little fucking Indian girl...
Is Indian?
Or whatever she was, I don't fucking know. Some.
I mean, in the movie, she's supposed to be.
I thought in the movie they're supposed to be Middle Eastern, but for whatever reason they're all Indian.
It was so fucking confounding. It took me so long to realize that the princess was that young
Yeah.
Am I crazy? Like,
No, you're not
doesn't
crazy.
make
The
any
little girl
fucking
was
sense.
very obviously like an Indian girl, and then like I think it's like some Italian broad playing
Yeah,
her.
it just makes no fucking sense. I was
Yeah.
genuinely just so confused.
Dude, my big thing with this movie is I think it is a great showcase for just how much comedy in film relies on editing and music. I could see a lot of the bits in this film working if it was if like the pacing of the bits was edited better and the music to emphasize when comedy is happening was much better. But because it didn't really have that stuff, a lot of it falls really flat.
Speaking of music, by the way, why was there just like a 5-minute song? Just in the movie.
That was so fucking weird. There was
Why
some
did they
random
do
ass
that?
like dance number in the middle of the movie, and
There's no point to it at all. It's just
yeah, they just did that back then. You know, that was just something rich fucking people in the '60s did, I guess.
Yeah, did they just think that was funny? What's funny, okay, so the girl's name is Princess D something. I think it's supposed to be Dira. But I heard them, you know, when they first introduced her, they say Princess D, and I didn't realize it was the Indian girl at first. I'm like, Princess Diana? Huh? She's a character in this movie for some reason?
yeah. Personally, unlike you guys, I found this film largely unfunny. I'm just not a big slapstick guy. What can I say? So
That's fair.
a lot of that fell flat for me.
This is a long movie, and I feel like probably 90% of the jokes just didn't really work on me. It's not like a poorly constructed movie. Honestly, I think the thing I liked the most about it was the dialogue. I think it had some pretty like fun dialogue, especially with like our main character. I just liked having him on screen. I think he was a fun person to watch. But yeah, I learned most of the vast swaths of this movie just really did not win, I wouldn't say. I'm probably being pretty generous with my C. Like, I don't think it's like a bad movie. I don't think it's like shot poorly or anything. They actually do some like fun stuff for the time. I think the song's iconic, of course, but like they don't use it a crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an okay movie.
Yeah.
What I didn't realize
yeah.
is that like the Pink Panther character originates from this film. I thought that like the film was going to be based off of like the cartoon or something.
Relatable.
No, sir. Yeah, what, you guys don't like all the cuck humor in here?
Yeah,
So
for a
there's so
film-
much fucking, dude.
For a film with like so many horny characters, it's crazy how little sex is happening.
That's true. They are attempting it quite a bit, though.
Yeah.
Also, like, what a fucking strange ending. He's, like, the detective guy is going to prison and his wife is sleeping with, like, 2 other dudes. Like, what?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That was just what they did in the 60s.
I guess. He is French, after all.
There you go.
Yeah, Europeans in the 60s specifically. Let's not throw that on the Americans.
We're washing our hands of. I mean, we have The Graduate, which, like, isn't much better than this, but...
Yeah.
I don't know about that. The Graduate is a substantially better film than this.
Well, I mean, much better in terms of cuckoldry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, way better, dude. That chick was way hotter than any of these.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not. Let's not spread lies here.
The Beatles made a
I'm
whole
sticking
song
at my-
about her, Tanner. I'm sticking at my C-.
I'll stick with a C.
And it lands at a subject to change. I can't speak today. Subject to
Subject to
change.
change.
Stamp of approval C. Overall.
Fantastic. Pink Panther. Dylan, what'd you think of Pink Panther?
You know, oddly enough, I really fuck with the musical score. I've always liked the Pink Panther music. I've been a little bit of a band nerd for a while. It's funny seeing how the new movies follow a similar formula to this one, but god damn it, it was kind of hard to follow the plot, and I kind of... This was another comedy that I didn't find super funny because it was, 60s? I think the Pink Panthers was 60s. Yeah, 63. The comedy in this is super 60s coded. I'm sure people were busting a gut in the theaters watching this detective guy make a fool of himself. I kind of just found it annoying, and it just didn't fit. Oh, that's right. I didn't give my rank. Let me back it up a quick second here. I gave Pink Panther a C-. Like I had been saying, I just found our main detective guy kind of annoying. There's a lot of back and forth happening that doesn't make sense, and I think that was supposed to be part of the comedy aspect that I just didn't get. the acting was fine enough, I suppose, for the 60s. The set pieces were pretty cool for the most part. There was just a lot of pieces that were jagged and didn't fit in this movie. And, you know, for a movie being about the Pink Panther, we really didn't get a whole lot of the Pink Panther. We kind of just got like, yeah, there's these guys who are cat burglars and they like stealing shit. And yeah, the diamond comes up in the beginning of the movie, and then it comes up briefly at the end of the movie. And other than that, we're just watching shenanigans happen. I will say, I don't know if you guys share this opinion. There's one scene where it's like they tried making a music video before they knew music videos existed. Tanner's laughing because I think he knows exactly what I'm talking about. But
Yeah, we mentioned the weird, like, 5-minute long singing sequence that has nothing to do with anything.
Well, and the other part of it, too, is she's the only one looking at the camera. Like, she's not in the scene. She's in the scene, but she's, like, the only one looking at the camera, and it's just, like, so offsetting because, like, it would just been more natural, because she's obviously putting on a performance for everybody in the room. Why the fuck is she looking at the camera? And towards the end of that whole scene, I figured when everybody got up and started singing, they'd all start maybe looking at the camera. Maybe she'd blend back with the crowd and kind of get back into, like, the movie, not breaking the fourth wall. Nah, she just continued to stare at the camera, and everybody else acted as if, you know, they were in a movie. So, this movie was fine. I don't think it clicks with the time, so yeah, I think C- is where it stays, personally.
Right on. Jackson, I should have been asking if adding in Dylan's ranks changes anything. I assume with both of these it doesn't change though.
No, Dylan, you've been in the exact same ballpark
Yeah.
with us, both of these movies.
I'm going to be so fascinated if we somehow, all four of us, for this random set of 4 movies, are just, like, all in a line with each
We were
other.
genuinely talking about it. Like, we are all, Tanner, Nico, and I were all really consistent with our ranks this
Yeah.
week, which just doesn't happen anymore. So yeah, it'd be really weird if this was just the week where the stars align.
Especially for all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, Pink Panther.
And guys, speaking of another movie that's not Memories of Murder, we have the 2003 film Memories of Murder. This was my pick this week. Go back and watch our fucking review of Black Klansman if you want to see my fun fact for it. Anyways, we've got a murderer, a serial killer, if you will, killing women. And our main characters are cops, and they're trying to solve the case. Tanner, fun fact.
Fun fact, the director Bong Joon-ho said that this movie was inspired by an Alan Moore comic called From Hell, which is about Jack the Ripper.
Interesting. Good fun fact.
I'm gonna read that one at some point.
Let's start with me. I am sitting at a cool A-.
I am also at an A-.
Dude, I'm a fucking hater, I guess. I'm at an A+.
Whoa.
Whoa.
You're a lover, even, actually.
Yeah.
I'm throwing you guys for a loop today. I quite like this movie. I watched this one before, and it was a little bit lost on me. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, okay, so this movie's not really trying to say anything.
No.
It is just like, the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, so I missed something. Mm-hmm. The ending felt unsatisfying to me. The second time I watched it, that was kind of the fucking point. It's an unsolved mystery. It's just what it is. Life moves on. And I thought it was just a really fucking funny movie, honestly. Like, I feel like the thing I liked the most about it was just the comedy aspect of it. And it's pretty understated for the most part. Like, it isn't, like, obviously the dude's directing it to be funny. They're writing jokes and shit. But they're not, like, overtly, like, this is like we're watching a comedy. But I feel like just the chaos of the movie, the way they talk with each other, all the characters moving around, it's a subtle little, like, physical humor, just works really well for me. The dialogue's really fun. I think the narrative's really engaging and touching and sad at times when it needs to be. I think the pacing is great. Mm-hmm. It's like 2 hours long. I never was fucking bored with this movie. They do a great job, even with like simple scenes. Like there was a scene of like a girl like trying to like run away in the dark or something, and they like ramp up the music really intensely to accentuate the moment when it was like slowing down. And they do a lot of stuff like that. Another thing with the music, fantastic overall. I'm really easy to manipulate with like slow-paced piano tracks and to do a lot of that shit. Like the opening song of like the very first scene when they're in the field discovering the first body. Amazing track, love that shit, big fan. It's just a really solid fucking movie. I like this movie a lot. I don't think it didn't emotionally affect me in any way, but I just think it's a really solid movie. It's just a really well-made fucking movie. Go on, guys. Why'd you hate it?
I'll go ahead and go first. So I got like 2 issues that are dragging me down to A-. The first one is I think the ending has some believability issues. Them just letting this guy go, I get that, like, you know, he was going to try and extrajudicially, you know, execute him. But the fact that they just, like, let him go free, I guess, I'm like, that doesn't... You wouldn't do that, though.
I mean, what crime did he commit?
Yeah, for me, it felt like one of the aspects of the movie I liked a lot, too, was just the way our characters develop over time.
Yeah.
Like, you see them all just breaking down, especially the dude from Seoul that comes in, like, the main detective guy that was... Like, he's very, like, by the books. He wants facts. He's not, like, making brash decisions like the dude is fucking torturing people or anything. He wants an actual conclusion to the story. He doesn't just want to, like, close the book. He wants to, like, actually solve the mystery. And you see that him just, like, break down over time, like, the further they get into the case without answers and more questions being brought up, especially once that girl that he had interviewed winds up fucking dead. Like, it literally just, like, fucking breaks him, it looks like. And then he gets to a point where he's just like the other two detectives. And he realizes he just wants an answer. And I think in that moment is when he realized he had, like, kind of fallen to that point. He, like, steps back, and that's why he lets him go.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of that is due to this happens right after he ends up losing the fucking guy that they've been tailing this whole time. And so this murder particularly is greatly weighing on his conscience. It's like, this would have been prevented if I just did my fucking job.
Yeah, that also adds to it a lot.
Yeah, so... And that also plays into my second issue, also about believability. Obviously, the big thing is that starting out, you know, the hometown detective, he's loose with the rules. You know, he's a loose cannon, but he gets the job done, or does he? And then the guy from Seoul is by the books, and he's like a competent detective and whatever. And the whole point is that, oh, look, they kind of, I guess, learn from each other, and they kind of swap characters a bit, where the hometown guy becomes more of a real detective, and then the real detective guy becomes more of a loose cannon. I didn't find this swap very believable. I don't think they played it out very well, and that is just because it's mostly on the part of the competent detective guy, because he's consistently proven to be much better at his job and correct than the other guy. So him adopting the other guy's traits, I don't think it comes across very believably.
I mean,
It's just a matter of opinion, I guess.
Yeah, I personally didn't have that issue at all. He was the swap that I believed the most.
Really?
Personally,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just because...
I feel like the other dude swapping made sense too, just because he was seeing the effects of his, like, really sketchy partner, and he was seeing somebody else that was, like, on the other end of that spectrum, so he started leaning that way himself when he realized that other side was wrong.
Yeah, I'm just,
So, like,
if one of them were more or less believable, for me, it's the smart dude who, you know, fucking from Seoul or whatever the fuck. What are their names? I don't know any of the guys' fucking names.
It's Detective So is from Seoul, and I don't know the other guy. He's the only character whose name I bothered getting.
Their names aren't Bob, John, and Peter, so who cares?
Exactly. It's fucked up. But yeah, I thought this is a very solid movie that really, I don't have like any major complaints with it. I would say it's just like it didn't do enough for me to want to raise it further. Like it didn't connect with me emotionally enough or anything like that. But like for the most part, I thought it was very well done. We get some great performances. As Jackson said, like there are some pretty decent like comedic bits throughout this where like, he's talking about like, all right, I need to hunt down who this could be. Could it be like, you know, maybe, you know, we're not finding any pubic hair. He might be a monk. It's like,
there's a lot of shit like that too.
Yeah.
Like when he goes to the fucking fortune teller and he's like, I'm not buying that scroll, and then the next scene he's bought the scroll and he's like fucking doing it. There's a lot of shit like that, which I think is really funny. A lot, like I said, just a lot of understated comedy. Like we're not watching a comedy, but there's a lot of comedy in it, and I think it worked really, especially with like the performances.
I think the one part where it felt a little bit out of place is when like it was like right after they got the scroll, they like went out in the middle of the woods. They're like at the fucking scene of the crime, and they're trying to figure out like, okay, how do we do this shit? And then like they're, oh no, there's a guy coming, let's go. And it ends up being like the other smart detective, and they're like, oh no, now there's another guy coming. That part felt a little weird, but like it quickly subsides. So it's like it's not a big deal.
I mean that part's definitely pretty goofy. I assume the assumption is supposed to be it's not nearly this bright out that like works in, like this fucking nighttime. And I think the chase scene afterwards is really great. So I think it all works out in the end.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I definitely like that bit once like they actually get to the construction site where they're looking around. It's like, fuck, there's so many people around now. What the hell are we gonna do? And they spot the underwear. Holy shit. It's a great moment. I definitely like the dropkick guy, him just like fucking getting done in at the end, losing his leg. That was fantastic because it's like, it's fucking insane how he just gets away with constantly doing this shit.
He's just straight up fucking torturing people. Like, honestly, that's another aspect of the movie I haven't really talked about a lot. It's like the commentary of what was going on within Korea at that time.
Yeah.
Which is like certainly a present part of the movie, but it's not something that they're like forcing down your throat. And then also just to have a commentary about just like police violence is very understated. Like, obviously we're on the side of the police because we're trying to like help solve this mystery with them, but also one of them is just straight up doing some really immoral stuff, and they play it for laughs, which I think is kind of like the point. Is they're trying to make you, I need to think about it more, I guess, to see what they're trying to say with that. But like, they're certainly trying to make a point about it, with the way they're portraying it, especially because the dude does get his just desserts, like you said, his leg.
By the way, one thing that we haven't even mentioned, guys, the ending for the film, the ending of the movie, where we have the eye guy, he's gazing straight into the camera, you know? And that moment, it's meant to reflect real life, where that's a fourth wall breaking moment, where he's looking right at the killer, who more than likely watched the film. And guess what, boys? Guess what? He actually fucking did. He actually did see the movie, and he felt nothing during that scene.
The killer's retarded, unfortunately. That's just how it is.
Do we just know that due to like a deathbed confession or something, or
they caught him.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Jailed, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was already imprisoned for like unrelated crimes, and he just confessed to the murders.
How certain are they that that's like
presumably they did like some
then?
DNA testing or something after that to verify it. I'm not totally sure though.
Another like random minor thing with this movie, like this isn't a criticism, it's just an observation. The difference in quality of living between them in the 80s and then 20 years later in the 2000s is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, they're living in a shack in a shanty town, basically, and then 20 years later, they're just like, it's just regular fucking, like, mod living. Which really is, like, Korea went through an insane amount of development within that period, so it makes sense, but, like, just seeing such a stark difference was pretty...
See, I guess, like, I got thrown off by that, too, but I guess my assumption was, like, oh, okay, he, like, moved to a different city.
I mean, that's certainly probably a part of it as well. I mean, like, when he was driving for his job, he was around the outskirts in the area of that first murder. So, like, he wasn't, like, too far out. He's, like, maybe just moved, like, to a bigger city out on the outskirts.
Yeah.
I was also, by the way, I was gonna pivot when we were talking about the ending, but you guys cut me off. You were too quick for me. Also, another thing about the ending that I really liked was when he's talking to the girl, and she's like, yeah, some other guy came here, and he's like, what did he look like? And it's like, oh, was it maybe someone who we saw earlier? Is she gonna give a description of him? And it's like, he just looked like some average guy, nothing remarkable. And it's like,
no reprieve.
Oh fuck, that says a lot about society. Shit.
And it's nice too because I think it sells the point of like the despair of the situation, but also it recontextualizes so you can look at our main character looking at the screen as well. Because it's like two different ways. Like, it is him just like straight up making that face of like, yeah, there is like no story basically. From like a meta perspective, and then also like the action of the real life killer. It's neat, it's clever. I like the ending. Also, like the color grading too is so dramatically different between the start and end, and then like the midsection of the movie where it's much more like dreary and gray, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, during those moments, it's much more bright, vibrant with like the golden wheat fields out there.
Yeah, I don't know really if this adds anything to the movie. It was just like an observation I saw when I was watching some extra context about the movie because I was curious to know more about it. Apparently there's like always, this is a really fucking stupid thing, there's always either red, blue, or green on the scene at some point, and it's supposed to be, I know it's a really fucking dumb comment, but like basically there's always like some element in like the grayscale that is like one of those colors, and it's always like an understated aspect of the scene that's supposed to like stand out among the rest of like the color grading basically. I just thought that was interesting movie making.
Is that meant to represent anything in particular?
It almost certainly is. I don't know.
Okay. Fascinating.
I didn't get that far, right?
There are multiple layers to this one.
Yeah, I'm sticking at my A+. I really like this movie. I think it's really fucking solid. I think it's just a really good...
I'll stick at my A-.
You know, maybe I won't be a hater down here with Tanner. I think I'll move into the middle between you guys. I'll go to an A.
Yippee! And it lands at a subject to change solid A overall.
Whoa. I bet Dylan loved this one. Probably an S tier for the guy.
I feel like this is like a B somewhere.
Probably.
Memories of Murder, Dylan. What do you think of Memories of Murder?
Memories of Murder. Drum roll for the ranking. I gave it a flat B. So, you know, I don't know how much I enjoyed the premise. It felt like a very unsatisfying murder mystery movie. Cause, you know, we've got our detectives in a third world Korea at the time, and, you know, they're just working with what they got. And I don't know if it was supposed to be an on-purpose running bit, or if they were trying to be funny. Our main detective guy, who's like, dude, yeah, my eyes never lied to me. And then throughout the entire movie, his eyes are never right one time. He always makes assumptions, and they're never correct. And then we got this other guy who comes in from, like, Seoul, who's, like, supposed to be some top detective guy. And he also is... Well, he's better at the detective job than the other guy, but they still can't really get anything done. And I'm not even going to fault them for, like, not being able to solve anything, because they made it very clear they don't have the ways or the resources to figure this out. But, like, genuinely, I think the only thing that kept me intrigued in this movie is just to see how many more times they could fuck up, like, figuring out who the murderer is. Also, like, I thought it was very funny. We had, like, people, they'd, like, see the body and then go to throw up. Now, personally, I've never seen a dead body, so maybe I'm not understanding. I think it's very funny how consistent they were with, like, oh, they see dead body, some random police guy throws up, and then we see the body and it's, like, not that bad. Maybe they just have weak stomachs, I don't know. I just thought it was a very interesting detail for them to add. And I agree, Tanner had said something, you guys probably brought this up maybe in the review. I don't know if this movie would hold record, but this movie does have a wild amount of drop kicks. It's like their go-to move, just fucking drop kick anybody they see. But yeah, like, they're just focusing on, like, these interpersonal things within the bureau. Like, this guy, he gets stabbed in the leg with a rusted nail, and it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna have to cut it off, like, he's gonna have to amputate it. And they, like, try to make a big deal out of that, and then we, like, never see the character again. They have, like, some shot of, like, oh yeah, the little shoes with the booty on it to make sure they don't, quote-unquote, scratch them up while they're beating the shit out of them or something. They tried to make emotional impacts or whatever throughout this movie. They just didn't work. I just felt like there wasn't enough build-up or enough tension in the movie to do that. A lot of this movie fell flat for me. And it is just genuinely funny how they keep missing the murderer. There was that bit at the end where it's just like, oh, you know, there was a man here a long time ago who was also here. And he's like, oh yeah, what was he doing here? He's like, oh, he was revisiting what he had done. And he's like, oh, well, what did he look like? And she's like, oh, plain, very plain. And I'm like, this just feels like you're not trying kind of thing. Or maybe it's just to show the futility of, like, trying to, you know, catch a murderer with the lack of resources or whatever you want to call it. So it was a fine movie. It's just a lot of it fell flat for me. So
what do you think was the point of the movie?
You know, I wish I could answer that. I think given the fact that it fell flat, let me see if I can, like, conjure something up, because it genuinely just fell flat. My biggest takeaway of this movie is you can have pretty competent detectives, or maybe incompetent detectives. It kind of fell into both arenas. But, man, I got so many mixed messages from this movie. Now, I don't think I could put my finger on it, to be completely honest. Like, well, I guess what was your interpretation of the movie?
Dude, you can go and watch our Memories of Murder review and find out.
I mean, that's not why I was asking, but okay. I'm not one to pick up
if you didn't get anything from the movie, then there really isn't any point. It's like a, you know, I took most of it as like a character study, I would say. Seeing how these characters evolve over time, beaten down by the case and the effects on that as people.
Yeah, like, I would say, like, okay, that is an observation that I made, is, like, you kind of see the character, like our main character, he starts losing faith in his own, like, detective abilities and kind of starts sinking himself towards the younger new detective guy. But then the new detective guy who thinks, I don't think he ever thought he was, like, hot shit, but, like, he certainly knew what he was doing. You kind of see him floating back towards violence, and you kind of see them swapping places. And it's just like, you know, in times of, like, desperation, and you're just, like, trying your hardest to figure out what's going on, and through, like, trials and tribulations and, you know, overcoming obstacles, you can often come out on the other side of a situation a completely different person. Because the new guy was, like, ready and willing to fucking kill this murderer guy, or what they thought was the murderer guy at the end of the movie. While the other guy, who kind of was more gung-ho, you know, he was hanging people off the ceiling and beating them and, like, trying to get answers out of him, he became more passive, I guess. So outside of that, I'm not entirely sure. So, yeah, I guess the bottom line here would be, you know, whatever happens, I don't know. I think I'll just leave it at that before I fuck up what I was trying to say.
Right on. You're not very far off from us. You're I think we landed at an A-. So
It was an A overall, and that was an A-.
Oh, okay.
You knocked
So you're
us down a
a skosh
peg.
lower than us, but not too surprising.
Yeah, we were at A plus A and A-, so you were definitely a little lower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe if I understood the movie a little more, maybe I'd get it, but I didn't quite philosophically
I don't even know if it's like
digest
necessarily one of
this.
those types of movies where you're supposed to like understand it, quote unquote. Like for me, I liked it a lot because of the entertainment value of it. I just had a really fun time watching the characters and the story develop.
Yeah. I like
So
all
it's,
the
you know,
drop kicks.
it's a movie, you know, it is what it is. You gave it a B, it's not like you fucking hated it or anything.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, speaking of B-somethings, we've got our final movie this week, which was in fact a sneaky surprise pick. We all watched this one in theaters, that being the 2026 film The Backrooms. Nico, take us away. I'm just kidding. Tanner, please give us the plot synopsis of The Backrooms. We're
Dude,
back.
Backrooms is about the Backrooms, where a guy who owns a furniture store discovers an entrance to the Backrooms, and he goes back there and goes crazy style. The end. Fun fact, and I know these are the boring fun facts, but it's worth mentioning. Kane Parsons, director of this film, is the youngest person to ever direct a major Hollywood studio film at 20 years old. He is 20 years old.
I was gonna fucking say that, you son of a bitch.
I know. And he's the very first member of Generation Z to direct a major Hollywood studio film.
Bad fun fact. Anyway, guys, Jackson, where are you putting this?
Dude, I think this movie fucking sucked. I hated it. It was the worst movie I've seen all week. I'm at an A-.
There we go. Tanner, how about yourself?
I liked Backrooms quite a bit for a horror movie that I saw in theaters. I am in between an A- and a B+.
Hot damn. And I am the other side of the coin here for Tanner. I'm at a B+.
Whoa.
So, Nico, why'd you hate this movie? Why do you think it sucks ass?
The film certainly had its fair share of issues. It's a good movie, though. I definitely liked it. I will say one aspect of this film that I definitely liked quite a bit. This is certainly the first film in quite a while, the first horror film that we watched, that I actually felt a little scared watching, which is crazy. It's been so long since I've had that feeling watching a movie, but that was definitely delightful.
How much of that do you think is due to you seeing it in theaters, though?
I wouldn't imagine that much, probably.
Okay.
Probably not that. It's just very effective in what it's going for here. Now, one part of the film I wasn't as huge a fan of. So throughout the entire movie, we're getting glimpses of the monster who's lurking these here halls, and eventually we finally get a full look at him. And it's a big puppet monster of our main guy. And I didn't like the model that they used for him all that much when we actually get like super up close to him. It looked very goofy. However, they did still get some pretty effective shots with it. Particularly like when we have like our main girl, she's like running, she's like about to escape. She gets to the big store, the big furniture store, and she's at the fucking exit. She's like trying to pound out. Oh no, there's no escape. And she turns around and he's just fucking standing there off in the distance. And he just starts shuffling towards her. It just, his movements feel so uncanny. And from like, you know, at that distance, we're able to make out the finer details of how goofy it is. It's just freaky. And I love that part. That part was really cool.
Temperature check here. We all know that guy was played by like an actual fucking actor, right? Like he was a person inside a suit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure.
Which I was gonna say, love that. I am so pleased that they got just some 8-foot tall fucking freak and painted in black and had him running around. And I think that's one of the big things is like, I think this is so well made, and I am so happy that it is not a stupid CGI fest. So much of the actual backrooms themselves are real fucking sets. Mm-hmm. We have a real monster. We have these practical freaks in there. It gives the entire movie a tactileness that I think for like a liminal spacey thing is really necessary. And what I don't know if this feeling will die off over time, but like I am so impressed looking at this movie and going, okay, I can see how many ways that a Hollywood studio would say, well, no, let's do it this way because it's a bit cheaper and easier and whatever, and that would be like a substantially worse product for that. But no, I can only imagine that Kane Parsons was like, no, I know what I want to do with this movie. I know what my vision for it is, and this is how I want to do it.
I agree!
Speaking of, like, the freakish monstrosities that are inside there, like, particularly, like, one of the parts, like, freaked me out the most, that gave me the heebie-jeebies, is when he enters, like, Christmas room, with the Christmas tree and shit in there, and there's, like, you know, he turns on the light, and we just see these, like, these freakish monsters that are, like, they were not able to make out their details quite enough, but we can just tell they're wrong. Like, this is not how a person is supposed to look, and as they're just, like, lumbering towards them and shit, that was, ooh, it got me, ooh.
Yeah.
I think the scariest part of the movie for me, or the thing that worked the most, and unfortunately it's like wrapped behind some things I wasn't crazy about, was the scene of them getting knocked into the hole of like Captain Clark's lair, basically, yeah. And then we see the blonde guy get like fucking grabbed and like pulled into that door. That shit was fucking fantastic. Mm-hmm. The problem with it is that I think the guy getting yanked down there was really goofy. Like, why they even have the fucking rope down there in the first place? I just don't even think that guy's performance was that great. He didn't really feel that stressed or threatened in the situation, unfortunately, for me, which took a bit of the tension out. But, like, I think him, like, getting pulled into that door and then all of, like, the found footage style scenery of that really just fucked up looking room just worked incredibly well. And then, like, the chase scene, I think, was pretty solid, too. I think him, like, sitting down the camera in the pool room and then Captain Clark coming in and, like, picking it up.
Yeah.
Was pretty goofy, I'm not gonna lie. It's like, yeah, I'm going to put the camera down so I can go over here and you guys can see the footage of me for a moment. It felt kind of cheesy, but, you know.
But
I think
during that section, I did really like how we see the camera start to move. It's like, oh, something has it. And then we see that it's like, it moves up way higher than a person should be able to be standing.
Yeah, I agree. Because you think it's probably the one of the like the things we saw earlier chasing it, but no, it's something fucking massive.
Yeah.
And you can like even tell too that it was something we hadn't seen before because it was the thing that destroyed the first like caveman sign. You saw that in the pit with all the clothing.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. It makes me think too. Is like how does like I keep saying Captain Clark. That's what the comedian's been calling him. Like how does this thing even have the dexterity to like fucking grab that guy down to like pull him through that fucking door? So I like the series of events was remarkably fast, and that thing was not particularly agile.
Yeah.
I think that scene was still very solid. And I agree. I think like the found footage stuff I think was probably the most effective aspect of the movie for me, to be honest. I don't think a ton of the other horror stuff worked a crazy amount. Like I think seeing a bunch of stuff up in person and up close was interesting at first, but I think the scene of like the dinner dragged a little bit. Like I liked what they were going for there, and I liked the explanation of Clark's character more and his like conclusion to his arc with like literally getting eaten by a fucking demented version of himself worked very well, but it definitely started to drag a bit on there, especially too is like another thing is like I just don't really feel like there was a crazy sense of urgency with Mary as well with some things. A lot of just like fucking sitting there and being acting all confused. Like, come on, girl, you're trying to run from a horrible monster trying to fucking kill you. Some believability issues there for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say I think overall this movie is actually pretty well paced, and like and I think that's kind of impressive because like a lot of it does revolve around like a single guy with no dialogue wandering around the back rooms, but I didn't find myself getting bored at all at any point in this movie, and yeah, I just think it's cool and stuff. What do we think about the big ending when the scientist people show up and we're doing all of that explanation stuff? I don't hate it. It's fine. I think the ending note is pretty strong. And I do really like when the scientist guy shows her the fucking photograph. He's like, have you seen this, man? And it's just the fucking black square over, like, clearly the fucking, Captain Clark monster there. I thought that was pretty funny.
That was very funny. I think the ending works pretty well for me, generally speaking, especially, like, the final static shot of the, like, fucked up version of Mary sitting in that chair to, like, show she, in fact, has been, like, duplicated or whatever happens with the mechanisms of the back room at that point too. Very interesting. It's also just like really horrifying too, because you're trying to think of like what the fuck will happen to Mary at this point. I'm sure they probably, from their perspective, they don't want anybody that knows about this getting out into public again. So she's probably just fucked. She'll spend the rest of her life in that facility, which is a horrifying concept for this poor woman that was already struggling through trauma her entire fucking adult life from some horrible situation she was put into as a child, to be thrust into. Honestly, like, one aspect of this movie that I'm a little confused about, maybe you guys have answers, is, like, what the fucking point of Mary's character is. Like, obviously, we see a lot about her trauma, and with her being, not, like, abused as a child, but, I guess abused as a child. With her, like,
she was, like, locked in the house with her mom for a sizable chunk of her early life.
Yeah, like, what's the point of all of that with her character? Like, I feel like Clark's character is pretty cut and dry. He's just some... Like, we have a full character arc with him, but, like, what's the point of Mary's character in the end? I feel like that kind of was lost.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of going under the assumption throughout the film that, like, okay, she has, like, some sort of tie to the back rooms, like, something happened when she was a child that she did end up going there, and she managed to escape. Because that felt like where the movie was hinting towards, but that never ends up coming to anything.
They do have some moments where you can see that some sections of the back rooms are modeled after that childhood house, interestingly enough. But, like, that's really...
Yeah, like that big debris pile is her house.
Yeah, like, it can duplicate fucking whatever it wants. Yeah. So, like, who really knows, like, what it really means. And
there is that really cool scene where it like starts at her house and it goes down a level and it's a little bit fucked up and then it keeps going. That was pretty fucking neat. I mean, I'm trying to think out loud through what her thing is, because, like, obviously memories is a big part of this, and the way memory kind of deteriorates, and, like, there's that saying, every time you remember something, it's a little bit altered and whatever. And so is it almost like if she has this fucked up childhood, she remembers it as being fucked up, and she became a therapist presumably in response to how fucked up that was. And then by diving into those memories over and over again, okay, hold on. So Clark, as he's continuously remembering his negative, like, life experience, it's getting worse and worse and worse with each time he remembers it in his mind. Is her thing... She has a really fucked up situation, but as she's remembering it on and on, she's remembering the more positive aspects of, like, she was a child with her mom and she carries around the little thing that's like her handprint and whatever. And so is it doing something like that where, like, repeating memories and making them worse over time versus her repeating memories and seeing the better side of those memories over time or something?
It's impossible to say. Yeah, I think you got a better guess than I do, though.
I guess here's a question for you guys. What do you think was the significance when she's like, she's going through, she just escaped the big Clark monster. She's like, making her way through that little passageway, and she like looks back at him. She just kind of stares at him during that scene. What's the significance of that, do you guys think?
I think, at least for me, so like the expression that Captain Clark is making is like a look of like horror and pain, almost, or just discomfort. And I'm assuming that is like, because Captain Clark, from my understanding of how the Backrooms is mentally, is basically like a fucked up interpretation of what the Backrooms thinks of Clark at like at potentially his like worst moment, like when he's fucking drunk and mean and angry and violent. But also he has that expression of like, he's not the one that's the problem. He's the one that is like being affected by the problem. And I think that was her just looking at that fucked up version of Clark, seeing that expression and that desperation, and maybe just like thinking more retrospectively about Clark and how she was treating him through her therapy, potentially being introspective about the fact that she maybe failed him and led him to this, death of his, I guess.
Yeah, that last bit was definitely what I walked away with too, because like she makes a big deal during like their whole dinner scene about how like I can't save anybody. And so for me, that was very much so a look of like, this is just like another person who I failed to save.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also like on Clark's end, like obviously like a character with his kind of background and characterization, you would never expect to go to a therapist. And I think it's pretty clear that like this isn't like a court-ordered thing or whatever. He's like voluntarily going to her because he wants her to fix him. And so her, essentially failing in that way, that's what the look between them is. The monster reflecting that desperation in him, where like he does kind of recognize that he needs sort of the kind of help that therapist can provide, and she wasn't able to help him. And so, that sort of interaction between them there. Yeah.
Another random thing, even with my qualm with like the pacing slowdown and not being like crazy about the scene, I do think it was still effective. The dinner scene was still effective. I do like the allusion to Clark's character there, and there were some really interesting scenes, like the fucking guy scalping the monster. Just the performances of the monsters like in the corner, like you still see like twitching and stuff. It just makes you really uncomfortable, especially like the like his ex-wife monster like running into the corner when Captain Clark comes, which kind of speaks to maybe how she was acting in real life when Clark would like come home drunk or something, just afraid of what he'd do to her potentially. The fucking little fucking creepy guy like sitting there like twitching around and stuff too. It was all very effective horror, I would say, even if like the surrounding theme of it didn't work a crazy amount for me. I also think it's very interesting, and I wonder what it means that the duplication of Clark's furniture store was basically like an exact replica. Because for the most part, from what we see, these like recreations of real life places in the back rooms are largely misremembered. They don't really make sense. They're confusing. But this one was just like straight up a recreation. And like you can see in the room, the top level, there's like all this gas and shit, which presumably they're trying to use to like capture Captain Clark by like setting out the trap that he had broke previously. Was this all set up by the lab or something? Or was this just like really a convenient spot maybe?
I have heard some people speculate that like the recreation of the store was created by Async to like lure him in. And then I think it's also possible that like obviously Async is the one who created I think it's kind of unclear in the lore right now whether they created the backrooms outright or just discovered a way to enter it. But since that room is so close to the entrance to Async's facility, it could be like the closer you are to the original source of like, piercing the veil between the backrooms in real life, the more accurate the backrooms is able to be. Or it could just be that like over time, the backrooms is going to slowly become more and more accurate to what real life looks like. And what are the crazy implications of that,
I agree. It's interesting. I think this is a really interesting project. Obviously this is a bunch of shit that people have already said. This is insanely impressive work for somebody of his age and experience. It's fucking insane. He was able to make a product of this quality.
Yeah.
Because it's just a solid movie, I don't have any like massive major flaws with it. It's just a solid fucking movie. I think the actors, generally speaking, do a really good performance as well. I think Clark and Mary are really fucking solid. I want to see more of Mary, like even with my qualm of her like performance with like escaping Captain Clark, I still think she was like really solid throughout the rest of the movie. I think Clark did a great job. I want to see more movies with that actor in it as well. I can't pronounce his fucking name.
Chiwetel, I think. Chiwetel, something like that.
I'm not even gonna fucking try. Yeah. I'm not even gonna fucking try. But yeah, it's just really impressive. There's a lot of like referential stuff that I caught too, which is kind of fun. Like I've seen all of the like OG Kane Pixels stuff about the back rooms because I've been again following them for quite some time now. There's a lot of like references to that, like when they are first doing the found footage stuff, when they got Clark and the two employees with them, they like do a segment, they're like they look through like a little crack in the wall and like zoom in, and that's just straight up a direct reference to, like the first found footage thing. Something that's unrelated to his own work, they use the like dementia song, I forget what the name of it is, but like that like 7-hour long track of like what the experience of having dementia is like, where it's like a normal sounding song that slowly deteriorates over time, and they use that in the hospital scene of Mary's mom, which I think is really fucking cool too. I was like literally sitting there like, holy shit, it's that fucking song, that's crazy. I didn't expect to see that in a movie. It's just cool, there's a lot of fun stuff you can catch like that. I'm not crazy, was it an as above so below reference with the Christmas tree thing? Am I tripping about that?
I mean, I doubt it was.
I think I want
It's
to
like
say
the red room with the people on the floor, because I feel like I remember that
Yeah.
imagery in that movie.
That's interesting. It could be a reference to it. Did you guys catch the Guapish at the movies previous movie we've seen that was in this movie?
Dude, I thought I got it with the as above so below thing was yours.
No, it's a literal movie that not Captain Clark, but regular Clark was watching. Dude, it was Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Oh.
I did not. I genuinely did.
He was very briefly watching that on his little television.
No, I did not realize that.
Very funny.
Did you guys catch that when she was escaping and all those dudes in hazmat suits were there, that Wendigoon was there? He was one of the people in the hazmat suits?
Oh, I didn't notice that. Can you actually tell it's him?
You can hear his voice.
Oh, bummer. I didn't catch it.
I had no ideas in the movie. Frankly, I feel like you're yanking our chain right now.
Yeah, I made
No,
it up.
he and Kane Parsons are pretty... Oh.
Yeah, they are
I knew
friends, yeah, but... Which makes it believable, but to my knowledge, he's not in the movie.
Don't trust
Wow.
anything this rat says.
Very
Honestly,
funny.
I think a lot of some of like the interesting stuff about the backrooms, or like how it's like presented visually, at the tail end of the movie was like what really grabbed me. The fucking scene of like the big like cutaway like gap was really effective. The weird like town basically inside of a room was very interesting. Honestly, I could literally just watch a movie of some fuckers walking around the backrooms like an actual like real life backroom set for like 2 hours and I'd be happy. Like, I'm with you, Tanner. I genuinely love the scenes of Clark just exploring the area. I thought they were really well done, especially because of like, there's something in there. So there's always that sense of dread of like, when is it going to make itself apparent?
Yeah.
And I think of like when he crawled through that hole and he heard the fucking big crashing noise of the first like caveman being smashed. That was so fucking cool. And I think they did that really well.
Yeah. Do you think doorcreek.wav is going to be the Zoomers, what the fuck is it
Home
called?
Scream?
Yeah.
Sure.
I hope it does. That'd be funny. Would you mind that, Nico?
I don't think I would mind it nearly as much. Personally, I think it's
Okay.
going to be that ceramic breaking sound.
True, yeah. I will say, doorcreek.wav is incredibly pronounced when they do use it in this movie.
Yeah.
I think it's when the girl like enters the store or something. It's so loud. I feel like they like boost the volume on it to really be like, hey, look, I got that thing that we'll see on YouTube. Like,
All right, let's be real here and let's roleplay for a moment. If you guys, well, maybe not roleplay, but if you guys were in the situation of an employee of Clark and he had in fact showed you the backrooms, this is of course under the context of you having no idea what the backrooms is, like in the universe,
Right.
you were unaware of it. I assume you guys would both go into the backrooms and explore it to some capacity with him. But would
Yeah.
you be the one that volunteers to go down the hole?
Absolutely not.
Or
probably not, no.
yeah, I could not be fucking paid to go down that long ass creepy fucking hole. Maybe if I had a pair of cleats or something that I could like climb up the hole easily with or something. But even then,
Yeah.
I'd rather put the camera on a rope and like
Yeah.
lower it down and then bring it back up before doing it.
And this is some bullshit, but like, I really wonder, like, how strong exactly are the, like, hostile backrooms creatures, you know? Like, could you just push over Captain Clark and he'd, like, fall over and, you know, take a while? Because he's not very fast, at least.
No, and fucking Mary broke his leg and rendered him largely
Immobile,
pretty easily.
I think
and honestly,
they're
she was
glass
doing a pretty
cannons.
good job defending himself.
So we saw that his body was now, like, in the async facility with his head cut off, basically. Is he dead now? Because, like, you know, Clark obviously showed, like, look, they don't, like, feel pain. Can they die, though?
I feel like that one was different than the others, though, because, like,
True.
for the other ones, they were, like, made of fucking furniture stuffing or something.
Yeah.
Like, when she was beating Clark, he was bleeding, which is, like, very different. And he felt like he was more sentient than those ones, but maybe
When it's, like, a reconstruction of a person's self, that's why, like, it's able to be more, like, closer to human or something like that.
Maybe it's, like, recency, too. Like, maybe that he's, like, a more recent thing, and he wasn't in there for long enough to, like, have slowly turned into, like, a worse memory of it, maybe, or something.
Yeah, very interesting. You guys think there will be a sequel, or is he just gonna, like, continue it on YouTube?
From what I heard from interviews, it sounds like he wants to do, like, a high-production TV show
Oh.
Ooh.
about
That'd be
it.
cool.
which I'm not opposed to because he was basically formatting his stuff about like as like a little mini series. So I think him getting the budget and the green light to make a TV show would work very well with this.
Yeah.
I don't know how they tied in with the lore of like, or maybe not lore, but the story of Mary and Clark. They probably just put in.
Mm-hmm.
But I certainly am very curious about more about this universe.
I could, if it's a TV show, I could almost see it being like Mary is now the main character, and like I forget who said this, which reviewer I watched that said this, but they're like, I could see like the company probably doesn't want to just like fucking kill her, so maybe it could be like, oh, you know, we can't let you leave, but like we'll hire you to be like our therapist person who like you know, does the sort of, what the fuck word do I want to go? You're the one who like breaks down what happened to people who we managed to rescue from the back rooms.
Yeah, I would imagine they give her the choice of like, look, you can help us in what we're doing here, or we're gonna have to kill you.
Honestly, one aspect of it too that we haven't really thought about, or I was thinking about, is like one thing they didn't show in the movie is that there is some, or maybe they did a little bit with how long Clark was in the backgrounds, because we don't really fully know how long he was in there. It seems like he's been in there for a fucking bit, but like there's not a lot of time. There is crazy time dilation in the back rooms. Like in one of the like short story things he did, there was a person that got lost and they were trapped in there for like fucking months apparently, according to like the other async employees. But like from his perspective, he was only gone for like an hour or something. So I'm curious like what the perspective of async is on Mary, because maybe they just think she's just straight up a fucking entity in there as well. Maybe they don't even know she's human, because how do you like pinpoint her? Like what if the timeline that she exited on in Async's facility is like completely different from where she entered? Like what if she left like 20 years fucking later in the future?
Yeah.
Have we seen anyone jump backwards in time after entering the back rooms, or has it only been forwards sometimes? I think it's only been forwards.
I also think it's only forwards.
I know in the very, very first Backrooms video, I want to say the guy goes in 1991, and then when he drops the camera, it falls into the real world in 1996 or something like that. So yeah,
I forget.
Lots of interesting stuff to think about. I'm excited to see this guy's career. I can't wait to see what like his first movie that is 100% like not based on anything, like it is completely just like this is a movie based on nothing else than what it is meant to be as a movie, you know?
Yeah.
He does have some other short series besides the background.
I'm excited to see the Wendigoon video where he breaks down this one.
Yeah, shout out Wendigoon, love that guy.
I love Wendigoon.
Frankly, I think we fucking killed it. I don't think Wendigoon even needs to take a crack at it. Direct them to our video here. We would talk about a lot of shit that's not even related to the movie at this point for a bit now.
Dude, where's the mold?
There was a shockingly small amount of mold and creepy black gunk bacteria stuff. Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well.
They're in a new part. I like this movie. I think it's solid. It has its flaws. It's not perfect. It's a good, effective horror movie. I'm curious if my rank would be lower if I watched it not in a movie theater. Even though my movie theater experience fucking blew. I'm giving it...
Fantastic. And I will be sticking with my B+.
You know, I feel like we've talked quite positively about it, and like even like theme-wise, it has some interesting stuff to think about there and whatnot. So I'll go with the higher of my two ranks at an A-.
And it lands at a subject to change. Why do I keep fucking up change? Why can't I say change? Subject to change. A- overall. How exciting.
Hell yeah.
Whoa. Backrooms, Dylan. What'd you think of the Backrooms? Let me ask you first, how familiar are you with the director Kane Parsons' like YouTube Backrooms stuff?
The only grapevine stuff I heard is I thought he was the creator of the concept, but I heard that he had the most popular, like, perspective on the Backrooms as a concept, I think, is the TLDR.
Yeah.
But you haven't, like, seen his YouTube series yourself?
I might have, maybe, but I doubt it.
Okay. That's good. We'll get a bit of a unique perspective from you then.
Oh, you guys all have seen his YouTube side of this?
I know me and Jackson definitely have. I'm pretty sure Nico has.
Nico seems to have a person that has not seen any of it, but he's watched a bunch of Wendigoon content on it.
Well, to be fair, that's how I watched it too.
You son of a bitch!
I don't know if I've watched, I guess what they would probably do is found footage backroom content. Most of the times it's just fan-made games that I watch many of my YouTube sources play, but
there are a lot of games based off of Kane Parsons' like universe of the backroom, so it's not like you're completely unaware of it.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you seen any of the games that have the people in like the big yellow suits, like that's based in his universe.
Okay, so that's the process of evolution here. That makes a lot of sense. Anywho, but okay, so yeah, Backrooms I gave overall an A- personally.
You're right there with the rest of us again.
Yeah, 3 out of 4, man, pretty good.
Yeah. So practical effects in this movie, huge thumb. I love the practical effects. They, in my personal opinion, they are always going. I don't want to use always. That's a bad word to use. They will usually be a better case scenario for me in movies. Not that CGI is bad. It's just a majority of time, especially in the movies I've watched, they're kind of bad. And there's more charm to practical effects, and I think this movie pulled it off really well. I think the sets in the environments that they put in place, it's like, yep, this is very familiar, this is exactly what I'd expect, this is what I'd experienced. The monsters and everything they created, and the concept behind what the Backrooms is and could be, I thought was very interesting and unique. Just because I have no backstory or lore on this concept as a whole, so it's very cool getting some, like, context to it, I suppose. I will say, I actually was putting this movie up more towards the S ranks, but what kind of killed it for me is my idea, as far as the Backrooms goes, is that it is a place you enter, and you either escape after trials and tribulations, just going through a bunch of random bullshit of nonsense, or you die. Those are the two outcomes I'm familiar with. The ideas expressed in this movie is our characters are free to come and go as they please as long as they remember their pathway back. I wasn't necessarily opposed to that, but the amount of times they did it and how much they got away with just leaving and not suffering consequences. I will admit, when we got to the portion where he takes his 2 employees in and then shit goes wrong, that is kind of what I would have expected more from this movie. I just kind of expected more Backrooms time. I know we got a pretty decent number in there, but I feel like the speed at which our 2 B cast people were killed was a little quick for my taste. The fact that, like, he brought him in there, immediately the guy dies, there's no tension, there's no build-up, we just know, yeah, there's a monster in there, it's killing people. And then, like, immediately, like, the chick runs off. I presumed she had died there. We find her behind some wall later. And then next time we see her, she's a head in a refrigerator. And we're like, alright, well, we're missing context. What happened to her? Why'd she die? How'd she die? Did our main character kill her? Did the monster kill her? There's this missing context. And another thing that kind of brought me down on this movie is I didn't want my Backrooms movie to be like a trauma dump session. Like, I get the idea they were going for, but, like, the fact that we're going through, like, this therapy session throughout the entirety of the movie, basically, almost seemingly has nothing to do with the movie itself. It kind of seemed like a weird outlet to just include more characters, so it didn't seem maybe like a single tone throughout the entire thing. But like I said, I would have been perfectly fine if we get somebody in there, they get stuck in there, we go through all the facets of the environments that the movie puts its paces through anyway, because there's many wild environments that we've seen in the games and in his content. And they kind of explore it, but it's kind of just like an avenue of like, oh hey, you're fucked up, these are your memories. And it's like, he gets to the part where it's like, oh, I belong here, towards the end when he's like, ties up. Also, like, him choking out the therapist and like kidnapping her. I was kind of confused there too, because presumably the memory of him was also there in that scene, so like, why doesn't it kill him? Why didn't it kill her? And then he shows up in that place. The guy dies in a very unceremonious kind of way, kind of like everybody else. The deaths in this movie feel pretty meaningless for the most part. Like, yeah, they're fucking dead now. And it's like, I just wish that ending sequence, we got a chase sequence, I wish it was a little more tense, you know? Still fit the Backroom style, I suppose, but I think this is gonna sound really weird. I just wish the deaths of people were a little more drawn out. Like, I wish it wasn't just so cut and dry, or at least there was some amount of build up to it. And then we, like, get to the very end where, the CDC or the Async, I guess, company, whatever. I thought it was interesting. They're, like, redacting the monster out to this lady, and it's like, dude, not only has she seen it, she's been in there, she's experienced it. Like, this is, like, a needs-to-know basis, quote-unquote, and she certainly needs to know, because she literally just experienced all this. I think it's very funny they were trying to cover it up. But, again, I think what really got me in... Well, before I repeat what I'd said, one thing that was a detriment to this movie, but also really cool, is that the amount of environments they were allowed to explore in this movie, and again with, I don't know how much of it was practical effects, and I think there was some CGI mixed in there. There probably certainly was. But what I ended up saying yesterday, because I went with my sister, we talked about it a little bit, is they showed enough of their cards for it to be, like, really cool, and it's like, oh, look at all they got to explore, especially with, like, practical effects and everything, and, like, isn't this cool? At the same time, I think they did enough to where it's like, okay, well, why didn't you include these set pieces or environments? So it was kind of like a double-edged sword in that regard. But, yeah, so I think for all those reasons, the setup, like, oh, this like, I think the line I remember that I thought went really hard was, the more this place remembers you, the more it forgets. And then you kind of see that in, like, the environment, like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I see why this whole area is the way it is. And the backrooms as a concept is like, yeah, the environment itself isn't necessarily hostile or trying to get you. It's what exists within, which I think is a cool thing where it's like, no, like in most of these other horror movies where you have these wild, wacky environments, they usually, like, change and shift, and the environment is trying to cut you off and kill you. But no, everything stays the same. It's up to you to survive, kind of thing, which I think is a really cool concept. But yeah, outside of that, yeah, I was giving this movie an S-, and then we were starting to get into the whole trauma dump and, things that weren't pertinent to the backrooms as its concept. But, yeah.
How'd you feel about the character focus of the movie generally? Like, it sounds like you're much more into, like, the backrooms as a character rather than the story of the characters going into it and progressing through it.
I think if we had more time to explore them as characters, like I said, I think it was fine, but I think there was too much of a focus on therapy as a whole. I just didn't see the connections between them going through their trauma and being in the back rooms. I think if we saw that reflected a little bit more in the environments of the back rooms, it probably would have made more sense and clicked more with me. I didn't dislike the character development as a whole throughout this movie. I just certainly felt like it didn't fit in the presentation they were trying to show us as well as it could have.
Okay, fair enough. The overall rank did not change with your...
Yeah, obviously. I will say you were much more negative on it than us, but still wound up at the same rank, which is a little funny.
I think it's because I went into it with higher expectations. Just, it's a bias created on gameplay and content I've seen on the internet, so when they threw in that, like I've been so harsh on the therapy and the characters, when they throw in characters like that, and, like, the stakes were lowered, it felt like, in this movie, that's kind of probably why I was a little more negative on it.
I guess. I mean, the obvious problem is, like, there's a lot of different backroom stuff made by different people, and so, like, the director was really only following his own universe, which doesn't have, like, a lot of the goofy bullshit that's in a lot of the video games. So it's a bit of an unfair expectation to go into it with.
And that's why I tried not to hold it too much against it, because I acknowledge this is a IP, I guess, that has many...
I don't know what you would... I guess, honestly, hold on. Intellectual property.
It's either that or a concept.
So it's not really a property because it's public, it's a meme. But yeah. I'm wondering if I can combine IP with meme. An I-meme, intellectual... No, because that doesn't communicate what it is.
Concept certainly puts a bow on it to an extent.
Yeah.
I think maybe if I wasn't so focused on the backrooms as a whole, this movie would have hit harder. I do certainly think the concepts they portrayed and the use of practical effects in, like, I thought the scene transitions where they were, it was basically our therapist character as a child, and we were, like, falling through the floor, and it was like you just watch the degradation, and I'm sure I was missing some sort of messaging there, but just watching our scene transition and morphing into an atypical version of itself to, like, kind of, I'm sure there's, like, some sort of, like, connection between, like, oh, the back rooms are just a facsimile of the mind, where, you know, once you delve deep enough, there's something there to be said, but I probably wasn't of the mind to see it at the time, so. But, I mean, I still really enjoyed the movie. I was ready to give this movie an S-, like I said. So, maybe A- is a little too cruel, potentially. I mean, I could certainly... I've had a day to sit on it. Let me... I don't think it's worse than those movies. Do I think it's as good as these movies? You know... No, I certainly don't think it's worse than these movies. Hold on. I may have to adjust this more in the future. Let me bump it up to an A+. I think A- from S- is a little harsh. I don't think I was that negative on it to drop it like 3 placements. I still enjoyed it a decent bit thinking back on it. I didn't dislike it.
Well, there you go. It still is sitting at an A- overall.
Fantastic.
New movies, guys! New movie time!
Oh, shit.
Let's fucking go. Fellas, I'm gonna be picking the film Inside Llewyn Davis.
Oh, Inside Llewyn Davis.
Yeah.
Well, guys, time for you to guess my theme again to see if you get a franchise pick. Gurren Lagann, the stars in the sky are, the lights in the sky are stars, and Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. What do you think the theme is?
Anime movie sequels.
Fuck, I was also thinking anime movie sequels. Tanner likes getting weirdly specific with these sometimes. Let's say the ending sections to anime that have been turned into movies.
It was just anime movies. Jackson, I'll give it to
Fair
you.
enough.
What do you want to pick off of the dang ol' franchise list here?
Let me give her a little gander here, dude. I'm excited. It's been so long since I've gotten to pick.
I know, right?
What franchises do I even give?
That's
Probably
so
not
true.
a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a fucking Old Boy remake.
Yeah, there's an American Old Boy remake. Probably.
Dude, let's do a Train to Busan sequel.
Oh, okay. So the options for Train to Busan are Soul Station, which is an animated prequel to the original, and then Peninsula, which is a more, not a very direct sequel, but a sequel that takes place pretty far after the original.
Let's just do the sequel one.
I agree. We're watching Peninsula, which I'm going to say is from 2019.
It's probably a good guess. Who fucking knows? It's possible to say. Anyways, of course, we have the Patreon raffle pick this week, which we got from Lava Skin. Thank you for the request. It was the 2015 film 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh
we got
my
a
God.
banger up
Oh,
for
no.
this week.
This is going to be a
Jesus.
fun week, I think. A fun week. And if you too would like to request a film, just like our patron Lava Skin did, then you can just listen to Tanner. Listen to what Tanner's going to say about it.
Oh my god. Guys, if you head on over to guapish.com/Patreon or patreon.com/Guapish, you can subscribe to us for only $1 a month. And with that little dollar, you get early access to every episode, exclusive access to our pre-Guap show, and we'll let you into our Discord right here where you can talk to us, request topics, request movies just like Lavaskin did, and you get 500 slime coin. And finally, you get your name read out at the end of every single episode, just like I'm going to do right now. Thank you very much to Irish Wristwatch, Oh My Lucky Stars, A Negro, Slayed by Jay Blake, Ned Gant, Lavaskin, Top Ramen Man, If Jennifer Aniston were my boss, I'd rape her before she even had the chance to harass me, Tutbot, Lucas Ledette, Hunter, and Jacob Edwards. Thank you all very much.
That's right, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll be seeing you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.